let's go ahead and pull back the windows and see what we can see for this evening. And I need to move our players to the appropriate...
Ooh.
What if it will actually let me drop it? There we go. Okay, so you guys are approaching the tree line. As I said, it's pitch black with the eagle eye totem of Tolgar Wolfspine and his night vision. Those two have seen some faint movements down inside the trees and amongst the bushes. At that point, somebody had stepped out. I believe we got that far.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, they announced themselves to us, and then you cut
Like,
it.
yeah.
All right. Yeah, this fellow right here, he steps out. Let me bring him up for chat to have a better look at. Okay, so yeah, as I said, he's kind of bald. He's got a big kind of tan fur-lined cloak. He is wearing well-fitting clothes, and that's about all you can tell from this distance under cover of dark. So I think the last thing he said was something along the lines of, well, well, look who it is. All right.
Okay.
Over to you guys.
Can I use my eagle vision to just look around and see if I see other movement in the other bushes?
There is a lot of movement.
Oh, there's a lot.
Definitely a lot of people hiding in amongst the bushes and trees.
A lot is in over a dozen, from what I can
tell. It depends. It's definitely more than half a dozen.
Okay.
But you know, so in some cases it may be more than one person huddled together behind a tree or a bush, so you're not exactly sure on the numbers.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, he steps out. Well, well, look who it is. And he says, "You're heading to the graveyard, are you? Oh, why would you be doing that?"
Well, obviously to pay our respects for the fallen person who was in the marketplace. We heard about it, and being new in town, we just wanted to do our due diligence and give back to the city.
New in town.
Yes.
Where did you come from before arriving here in Horrendon on the Mere?
Don't need to tell him everything.
I was just going to tell him down
have
the
something to
road,
hide?
please.
I'm just making polite conversation.
You are emerging from the darkness of the graveyard. What about yourself?
Well, I thought perhaps by my dress and my robes of office you would recognize who I am.
Well, it is nighttime after all, and very
A pansy.
Oh,
A pansy? Well,
That's what I can tell from here. If you can step closer, I can tell better.
oh, I have no intention of approaching a small band of clearly very capable individuals when I have no idea of your intent. You
Yes,
see, while it is totally customary to pay last respects and things to people's graveside, it is a bit unwholesome to do it in the early wee hours of the night, don't you think? Understand
It
my
did.
suspicions.
Oh,
Didn't realize we were spending a little time in the tavern, you see. We must have lost track of time.
Yes, you were indeed in the tavern.
Yes.
yeah, that still doesn't help us discern who you are. Are you rangers of this town?
Oh, no.
Protectors
No.
of the militia?
So I have something to do with the militia, but I kind of operate outside of the militia. I operate around multiple towns. Here in Horrendon on the Mere, I also have business quite often in Bamforth. Been to Bamforth recently by chance?
You seem to know who we are.
Well, I did say when I stepped out, well, look who it is.
Yes, but that could just be a turn of phrase. I mean,
So-
true, Delicious, you're right.
So you
He
have
did say
been
that,
to
yeah.
Bamforth. I thought as much. So it is
Yes, and we are on good faith and credit with the local militia here, having helped them a few times now already, and helped the town of Bamforth. So,
indeed.
So it's nighttime. Big deal. Holy, unholy. We're about to get. We were drinking all day, you know.
We just one of my agents overheard some dubious things from a group of people in the corner of a tavern being very loud, and some words that were uttered seemed a little bit concerning, so he came and told me about it. I only arrived here in town myself a couple of hours ago. Naturally, as he said that he believed that they were going to do something in the graveyard, although paying last respects was exactly what he told me, I thought I would wait for you here, in case you did have any dubious intentions. But clearly you don't, because you understand, should you mess with a grave inside the churchyard of the prime deity here in Horrendon-on-the-Mere, not only would the clergy almost certainly know about it, which would be very bad for you, because while they are very hospitable, as I'm sure you found out, they're also very capable and would look very would have a very negative view of you after such a thing would happen. So we wouldn't want you to do that. I'm more interested, however, in the fact that you recently left Bamforth. We'll call me giving you this good piece of advice and not doing anything that you probably shouldn't do in the graveyard, my way of showing you and demonstrating that I can be trusted.
Why is it strange that we came from Bamforth?
It's not strange. I just came from Bamforth myself and heard some things, and the town burgher mentioned that you may be coming to Horrendon-on-the-Mere, so needless to say, I've followed you here.
Can you stop following us?
We could give you our autograph, since obviously we are something of idol, celebrity.
You very much misunderstand. No, so, have you had chance then? Are you familiar with what a reeve is?
A weave? Yes.
A reeve, not a weave, but reeve. You heard this term before? No.
Yes. Get to the point.
Okay. So if you understand what the reeve does and what a reeve is responsible for, you could understand why a reeve would be a little concerned that he overheard, or somebody told him that he had overheard individuals planning to do something very, very unpleasant in a graveyard.
If you followed us from Bamforth, then you know that we helped in Bamforth.
Yes, I do understand that that was the perception. Unfortunately, I do have a few questions that I'd like to have answered. If you don't mind.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, seriously, if I was going to be a problem to you, I could have waited for you to start doing a dubious thing in the graveyard, which would be an act that we shall not mention, and then arrest you for doing it. I'm far more interested in subverting problems like that. I believe in being very proactive and stopping crime from happening, and definitely helping strangers not make mistakes that they would seriously regret.
Well, first of all, we were not going to do anything dubious as you accuse us of doing. First off. Second off,
somebody come to me with a piece of information, said something they overheard, something to do with a recent death and a particularly fresh grave, and that you had perhaps they completely misunderstood and misinterpreted the entire situation.
It is a very noisy tavern, of course, as you know.
And people in taverns tend to be completely shit-faced, and most speak in exaggerated jest.
I understand. Which is why we're having this conversation, as opposed to me allowing the possibility of a mistake happening, and then, I'm sure you've probably had a few beverages yourselves, and if you were more sober in the morning, you'd probably think to yourself, God, I can't believe we might have almost done something really bad last night.
So, are you going to ask
By
the
solving a
question
murder?
or not? Please.
Oh, you're solving a murder. Oh, how very interesting. Yes, tell me, how do you plan to do that?
Need more information.
And you are going to find that in the graveyard. I pride myself on my investigatory skills. This is something that hadn't occurred to me, so please enlighten me. How was the graveyard going to illuminate you as to the situation, the murder?
Well, as you see, I dabble in being a bit of a medium, if you will. I was going to conjure the spirit and try to talk to it and see if they could tell us of the wrongdoings of who did it. Sure. Absolutely,
Well,
yes.
that must be a very valuable skill. I mean, the ability to ask a murderer who killed you.
Yes, absolutely. See? So you understand why we're here.
Do these spirits have to tell the truth, or could they potentially lie?
No, I believe it is a law in the spirit world that you have to tell the truth at all times.
Really? Well,
Yes.
Why would you be afraid of that?
Afraid of what?
The spirit lying.
Oh, not at all. In my line of work, when somebody says they know something happened, we usually require some form of evidence. I just wanted to see if it is, in fact, a thing that a dead spirit cannot lie, then he couldn't tell a lie about who his assailant was, and therefore
Why would somebody do that?
people lie about who things all the time. Who knows? What if a person was to die from misadventure, and then to get revenge on somebody claims that he was murdered by them?
Pretty sure this wasn't death by misadventure.
Well, I'm pretty sure it wasn't either. This was more of a general question because, quite
Tripped
honestly,
on a rock
I
with
would be
my eye.
interested in hiring your services for other jobs that I have. If this is indeed a thing you can do, and there is no potential for error, then I would most happily hire you, sir.
You want us to be as forthcoming as we can with you, and yet you are the one holding back and hiding from us. Don't think that we don't see the others in the tree line. Lying in wait, no doubt.
Oh, absolutely, yes. I have more than... Again, how stupid would I be to come here in the dark by myself?
I'm not saying you're stupid. I'm just saying
They
in
mean
this
you no harm at this
conversation...
moment. No harm at all. And you've
I'm
already
just-
seen them, so it's not like we're hiding them from you.
Bring him
How
out.
do we know that you're not telling the truth? You're not lying to us right now about your profession.
Well,
You could have easily
Violent
killed
sense of your
a
luck.
person of this town and donned their attire and pretended to be when in fact you are not. You could have pretended to be a Reeve or whatever.
the Reeve.
Okay, the Reeve. My apologies.
I could indeed. I have a official seal here, and anybody in the town would vouch for this is what I do and who I am.
Right. Just like anyone would vouch for us and our deeds, both here and in Bamforth, since we've already established that we were there.
So, and as I said, don't assume that I mean you any harm at all. You seem very defensive, which is understandable to some degree, of course.
Well, we're clearly outnumbered here,
Well, of course.
with you lying in wait, so of course we'd be defensive.
Yes, of course.
But that's-
Which is why we've made no... I have told my men to stay put and not to act in any threatening manner and to let me handle this. They're purely here for protection. So, what is the motivation that you want to solve this particular murder? Did you know the man? What was his name? The field hand. Oh,
His name was Ralph.
Ralph. Yes, that's right. So you did know Ralph.
We feel like we did.
So you're investigating the murder to bring justice to Ralph's dead widow, or Ralph's living widow?
look, a few of us are scholars of sorts. We heard of the murder and the bizarre circumstances surrounding the murder, and we felt that we could lend our expertise. I mean, he did lose his eye and have his entire brain sucked out. You don't think that is peculiar?
Oh, absolutely. It's
and
peculiar.
unnatural?
Of course it's unnatural. I'm just curious as to why you would care.
Because we are interested in knowledge and learning. Hence the scholars. I mean, Thelonious here is among the smartest men this side of Iridian.
Stop it.
A man that can talk to the dead and compel them to tell the truth is indeed a man of learning and value.
Yes, indeed.
What am I?
You are a very, very impressive physical specimen of a man, and the primary reason why I felt the need to have so many men-at-arms at my service when I confronted you.
I am but a scholar of the axe.
Yes, and I'm sure you have had many, many practical lessons of how to use the axe in your time. And I'm a reasonable swordsman myself, but it is more for protection purposes. I rarely get the chance to hone my skills anymore. I travel too much to practice with any of the guards, and quite honestly, I have no doubt that if it comes down to it, you would cleave me in twain.
I use it for my protection as well, same as you.
Well, I think we can all agree that nobody is in need of protecting anybody from anybody at this particular moment. We're having a civil accord, yes?
Well...
Okay, wait. I actually have a question for you.
Okay.
My good man. What is your name, by the way? The Reeve doesn't sound personal enough.
Oh, well, I can tell... You mean my personal name?
Well, obvious. Yes.
You don't know it? That's curious.
I understand. I am curious. You came from Bamforth fairly recently, yes?
I did. I only arrived here yesterday. I mean, sorry, 2 hours ago.
And you are, which means you were in Bamforth after we left, correct?
Yes.
So you hear something in a loud, drunk bar that sounds suspicious to you, and yet you are perfectly content with the gigantic lion with bat wings that is plaguing Bamforth. How is that not more of a
it's
priority?
Not plaguing Bamforth. It's I believe the people in Bamforth have got a sensible arrangement in place.
So you're letting a criminal beast work out a deal with the town. That doesn't sound like something you'd want to deal with.
The beast has not committed any crime.
Well, it certainly... I don't know. It destroyed those shingles on that roof when it landed and scared Joel Colton half to death.
Well, again...
Roof damage is a
really
crime.
Isn't something you need to worry about, is it? I mean, I'm sure that doesn't honestly bother you in any way, shape, or form.
No, it doesn't. I just find it peculiar that you would take priority of what someone says in a bar as something serious and potentially criminal, as opposed to a clearly evil entity. Basically, what is it? Blackmailing a town, or what's the bribing?
Extortion is a crime.
Extortion is a crime,
Well,
yes.
Extortion, yes, extorting the town.
Unfortunately, unless the town proclaim to me that they are having a problem, I'm powerless to do anything. If they was to come to me and say they wanted the problem resolved, I would have to do something, but unfortunately, they seem rather content to deal with the circumstance as is. I don't expect you to understand.
Fair.
For a town official who wants us to trust him, you sure are dodging a lot of questions and being sort of...
You have to understand something. You have no jurisdictional power here. I could have all of you arrested at a whim. I have no intention of doing so.
But arrested for what? We are walking at night.
Yes.
It's on the eve of a great festival.
Yes, indeed.
The tents are literally that way.
See, what would happen is one of my agents overheard you specifically referring to digging up a grave. Now, that's a crime. So I have no evidence, and you haven't done it. So what we would do is I would arrest you. We would take you to court. We would take you to the jail. Have a whole bunch of questions. It would be a pointless, boring exercise. No benefit for anybody to do that. But you do seem to be incredibly... Normally, when I question people, they respect my position, and they're not the ones asking me thousands of questions. They're usually answering them.
You're talking in circles.
No, what it really is you literally emerged from a shadowy portion of the town, claiming authority, when we have spoken to Reginald and conferred about, the sergeant, right? He was a sergeant here?
No, you're talking about, there is no Reginald, there's a Sergeant Ranald.
Ranald, yes, the names.
I could have one of my people go and fetch Sergeant Ranald, if you'd like.
I'm just saying, we have been very open with the authorities in this town. We even helped them out.
As I understand it, which is
we expressed interest in this murder, and they are aware that we wanted to investigate it. So we have been spending most of the day going around town investigating it. Mm-hmm. Whether we said things that might have been untoward or unholy or unwholesome, that could have just been the frustrations of our investigation, because we haven't really discovered anything. We have talked to the widow, we talked to the foreman, we talked to a woman of a guard and the stall owner, and we've kind of run out of options.
Fully understand.
Okay.
So what is your name? You have not told us your name.
No, I didn't.
You're avoiding it.
I'm not avoiding anything. I just don't wish to give it to you at this time. I'm the Reeve, and that's all you need to know right now. But if you want...
But you want to show that you're a trustworthy person.
I have no trust to prove. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. The simple fact that I did not let you do that, I think you and I are both fairly sure we know what you were going to do. I'm merely giving you the courtesy of, as I said, stepping in and stopping you making a huge mistake. The person that overheard this information wasn't the only person. Plans of going there and waiting till midnight were overheard, various different things. It wasn't an off-the-cuff comment that was made, like, maybe we should just dig him up and take a look. No, it was a deliberate plan. Now, you can deny it if you wish, as I said, but instead of having this simple accord, you're going to push me to a point where I'll actually have to do something about it, and that won't help anybody.
No. We said we need to sing, as in singing a song up a grave. I can see why digging and singing may sound the same. It's how we speak. It's how we talk to the spirits in the afterlife.
What was the song that you had planned?
It was oh, Holy Spirits, listen to your friend Thelonious Conch and tell him who murdered you. Something along those lines.
Yeah. I honestly don't care to help these people anymore. Let's just leave.
Okay, in that case, gentlemen, we can't permit that, so we're going to have you arrested.
Can't leave?
You can't let us leave?
Down,
no.
Everyone.
This is some courtesy. Right. Doesn't feel like courtesy to me.
No, because you just basically are not willing to cooperate. As I've said, I wanted to ask you some questions. You keep...
We answered your questions.
No, you haven't answered a single question that I want to ask you yet.
I have asked numerous times
for you to ask. You have no cause to arrest us. We are leaving.
Madam! An agent of the town overheard you planning to rob a grave.
Thing.
We're not robbing a grave.
No,
we were
because
merely
I've
walking
stopped
by.
you as a courtesy.
Well, why don't you just ask us your questions?
Ask the questions, please.
Ask away.
This is ridiculous.
I agree. I totally agree that this is ridiculous. You clearly wouldn't tell me the truth anyway, would you?
We told you the truth. We were here to try to solve a murder, but you obviously don't want our help, so we're going to leave.
Oh, then ask me this. Did you or did you not intend to dig up that corpse in that graveyard?
Do we look like we're equipped to dig up a corpse?
You have shovels! You're carrying shovels!
We came from Bamforth. Everyone has shovels who travels a road. We have pickaxes too and rope.
And
are we gonna hang mooses too?
I've never carried a shovel on a journey from Bamforth, but
Well, you've never taken a shit in the woods?
You were not prepared then.
No, but you don't seem to understand. You're standing there with shovels. You've made proclamations in the tavern. Numerous people heard it that you're gonna dig up a grave. I'm trying to cooperate with you and stop you doing this terrible thing.
We are not going to do it.
I want some questions answered, but unfortunately, you seem to be insistent on getting on our wrong side, as opposed to being cooperative and decent about it.
Okay. You say you're here to prevent us from doing a terrible thing. Good job, you did it. Can we leave now?
No. Can't leave.
Why?
Not
Because
until
you're going
we
to
ask
answer
the
some questions.
Please.
There they are.
Please.
Either
ask the question.
voluntarily or under duress. It's your choice.
I can't see where we have any other answers for you. We already told you everything. We were trying to help you solve a murder.
Please. We don't know what the questions are yet to answer them. Maybe we should
It
let him
might be
ask.
our favorite color, or
Could be.
Sir, how can we help you?
Yes, please. Please.
Yes, you see, reason. Finally, reason. When you were in Bamforth, did you perhaps overhear anything about any agents or people working in Bamforth lying about the circumstances of why the mine was closed?
No.
Any of the rest of you? Seeing as you're only one person, very vocal person, of course, but...
I don't understand the question. Can you say it as if you were talking to a toddler?
What did
No.
you... How did you claim that you helped Bamforth? Assume I don't know what you did, and tell me how you helped Bamforth.
There was a cave-in, and
Was
we
there a
cleared
cave-in,
the
though?
cave.
Was there?
I saw a bunch of rocks, and I moved them. And then there were some monsters we destroyed.
These monsters, were they the sort of things that you'd have expected to find in a typical mine?
Can't say they were.
But you did destroy these monsters.
Well, they attacked us. We successfully defended ourselves against the
Good,
monsters.
good. No.
With their shovels.
And you're to be well commended for destroying them. My question is, you were the ones that went into the mine and confronted these things, and doing a great service to Bamforth. Only I was under the guise that the claims of Bamforth were that there was a simple cave-in, and that the mine had to be closed because of a cave-in. There was no mention of these strange creatures, and I'm concerned that somebody in Bamforth was hiding the truth.
What do you think caused the cave-in?
Well, this is why I'm asking the questions, you see.
Well, Arthur, what did that have to do with us? It seems you should be asking them questions.
Oh, we have. But
Oh,
you see,
okay.
as part of the investigation, it's necessary to also talk to the individuals that took care of the problem. I'm just curious to know if anybody said anything to you along the lines of not to say anything, to keep it quiet, to brush it under the carpet, anything like that.
Well, yes, the foreman, Joe Colton himself. He told us to keep it.
Foreman. Did
Yes.
he? Did
So
he?
go
What?
arrest him.
Oh, well, that may be necessary. We'll see.
Good.
When you were in the caves, did you see anything strange at all, other than the obvious demons or whatever they were?
Well, Thelonious here took a little taste of some sludge, which I assume is shit. That was strange.
Oh, I would
Emlyn there
strange.
passed out for a few hours.
I was afflicted with a poison from one of the monsters.
Well, I'm glad that you fully recovered. I'm glad
Well,
that
thank you
were-
for your courtesy.
So it's possible that Joe Colton was covering something up. Do you have
Yes.
any more information that could help me?
Well, he wanted us to hoard all the rubies we could find in the cavern, probably for that beast that was...
Yes, they
I'm gonna
have
just
a-
glare at Emlyn the whole time he's saying all this.
They have a, as you know, a strange agreement that they seem to be happy with, so... Not much I can really do about that. I agree with you that if it was me, I would hire a able bunch of adventurers such as yourselves, especially those that were capable of killing a demon or devil or something, But they didn't ask you to do that, did they? They didn't want you to help with the thing,
No,
the Manticore.
As Kyla said, that was just self-defense. They didn't ask us to do it, but it was upon us.
Okay. So, when you went down into the mine, what was you going down there for, specifically, if you don't mind me asking? If the intent wasn't to find these things and kill them, and they just set about you, why were you in there in the first place?
Well, that's easy. There had been talk of a cave-in, so we were sent in there to see how we could possibly fix it using engineering and architecture.
Have you done any mining before?
No, but like I said,
worldly enough to have been in several mines or anything? I guess the question I'm asking is, in your humble opinion, would you say that the cave-in happened naturally, or would you think that it was possibly done deliberately, like some form of sabotage?
The thing is, it's hard to say. The real issue there is the thing hiding in the cave that attacked us was speaking in some arcane language and seemed very intelligent. If it were creating a den which it had little minions and such, I don't see why it wouldn't try and close the area off for itself.
So you believe that it could indeed have been a legitimate cave-in, but possibly caused by the creature?
Aye.
It did speak to us, that is true.
And what did it say?
I will kill whoever enters my abode.
Oh, understandable why you had to defend yourself against the creature. I mean, here you are in its abode, and having to defend yourselves. Did you find anything? Was there any remains of this creature?
I was passed out by said creature.
Only, apparently, they said that there was no sign of the creature at all. There was nothing. They found no creature. That this is the thing.
Yeah.
No signs, no blood.
None at all.
It returned back to where it came from. I think.
When you killed it, it went poof and basically got banished. So. Yeah.
But the secondary creature, right? The other creature you guys spoke of?
One made out of metal.
Maybe just metal.
Just yes, it was. It was not all. It did not seem organic of any kind. It was made.
Yes. See,
but I saw blood come out of it at the end. That's how I know
you struck the killing blow, Tolga. You did indeed.
This is. I'm glad you brought that up, because that's one of the largest things that is of curiosity to me. So, the devil demon thing that was living down there, did it make this thing, do you think?
I do not believe it had the technological wherewithal to construct something of this.
But it was sitting there in the chamber with that thing, and they weren't attacking each other, so presumably they were allies, yes?
Possibly. You have to ask one of them.
Well, can't really do that, seeing as one of them, no one can find the corpse. I mean, otherwise, your talents would be exceptionally valuable.
Yes, unfortunately, it's only with humans, not with bone devils or metal machines. Sorry. That's the extent of my talents, unfortunately.
I see. Does anybody else have any opinion on this metal thing? I mean, it's down there with this demon thing. They're both just hanging out at the bottom of the mine, chilling out, talking about how to do demony mechanical things. And
I do actually have a theory. If you will
love to hear it. Absolutely.
So, a manticore is extorting a town, demanding rubies. Wouldn't it be in the demon's best interest to hoard all the rubies for itself to get the town destroyed by the manticore? Isn't that what demons and devils do? They sow chaos. So I perceive that the devil or demon was decided to be in that mine to sabotage it so the miners couldn't mine the rubies, so the manticore could extort the town, threaten it, instill the fear and death and destruction and we just happen to show up and send it home.
I see.
What do you think of that theory?
Oh, it's definitely an interesting theory indeed. Something I hadn't thought of. It's possible, of course, I suppose. No other reason you could think that it was down there? Maybe that is the reason. Maybe the creature moved.
Maybe. I have a theory.
You do.
Oh. I was just gonna
Maybe
shake my
they
head.
are. Just don't laugh at me. Maybe they are the last of their species and they crawled to the mine to try to rebuild their tribe.
Oh. Yes, that's another theory as well, I suppose. Interesting, yes.
If only they just caved themselves in waiting to die.
Oh, Tolgar, that's so good.
Slap Emlyn, stop laughing.
So, the demon wants to destroy the town, but it can't do it itself. And it knows that there's this manticore that the town has a deal with. So if it hoards all the rubies and stops the town getting them, the manticore eventually gets angry and attacks the town, doing the dirty work for the demon.
And maybe Joe Colton made a deal with the demon, being the foreman of the mine.
Indeed, that's a very interesting... After all, the creature never attacked him, did it? And I'm sure he
No.
frequented the mine, yes.
I think the Manticore and him were the ones who were in most conversation with each other. So I imagine he'd want that relationship to not be. Or something. I don't honestly. I mean, I'm just spitballing here.
Oh, with that, he pulls out a small money purse and jingles it. He then kind of like takes about 7 or 8 paces forward, and then he underarm tosses it in y'all's direction. So it probably lands on the ground in front of Tolgar and Kyla and whatever. He says, this is for you. See, there is always a reward for people that assist in solving problems like this. And see, because you've been so helpful, here's a small portion of the reward. I feel that the information you have given me is quite pertinent and enough for me to have a very long and meaningful chat with Mr. Joe Colton.
Poor Joe.
So, just before we wrap things up, the mechanical creature, you don't think that that was something that the demon created, or you do think it was something the demon created?
No, I don't think so. It's when we were dispatching of the demon, I believe if they were in cahoots with each other, it would have at least come out and tried to assist. But it
so
did
it
not.
was in hiding.
So to speak, yes.
Where was it hiding?
It seemed to be waiting, lying in wait behind a wall of some sort to ambush
A wall?
us, waiting for the right opportune moment to strike.
So, like, there was a false wall?
Yes, very, very tactful this machine was. Unfortunately, it was not enough for us, as you say,
I
talented
see.
band of people.
And how would it have got in and out of that chamber?
I don't think it needs to eat or sleep.
Yes, it's made of metal. It was just more of a sentinel of some sort.
Being that you are, as you said, scholars, and I am clearly not on the same
No.
level, why would somebody put such a thing in such an obscure place?
Because people of evil exist in the world just to watch it burn.
I am well versed in the evil of humanity.
So there
But it
you
is
go.
rare that evil goes to such extreme lengths just to inflict mischief or pain. There's usually a
You'd-
motive or an
You'd be
agenda.
surprised. Well, if there was one, we do not know of it, as we were there to stop the problem, not create it.
I see.
Hmm.
Well, I think you've been very helpful. And, I would more than happily like to make sure that your fears are put to rest. So before we leave, perhaps we should all go away from this area, and perhaps we'll drop in at the militia house so that you can in fact get it verified that I am who I say I am. So you
we
don't
have to
feel
do that?
duped.
Don't really. Yeah. No.
Can we just go back?
I mean, do we have a choice in this? Because it
Oh,
seems
of course
like
you have
we
a choice.
don't.
No, you absolutely have a choice. If you want to
I-
take me at my word, I commend you for doing so. It was just that numerous times you cast aspersions on my position, and now you have answered my questions and helped me. I feel it is only fair to meet you the other half of the way, and at least make sure that you know that the information that you have given was given in earnest, and you know that there was no skullduggery or misadventure.
The fact that you threw coins at us for assisting you is convincing enough for me. I don't think people of a shady nature would do something so reckless.
It's only money. Not my money. It comes from the coffers.
Yes, exactly.
But if I'm going to give it to anybody, I may as well give it to people that are willing to help me apprehend the a nasty individual. And if this Joseph Colton does indeed turn out to be in league with a devil or demons, well, I'm sure he will swing for it. Certainly seems like he is to me.
More Joe.
And yes, quite possibly he building strange mechanical instruments of destruction as well.
I mean, there was a lot of ore in that mine,
Yes.
and the creature was metallic.
Well, not at all. We'll. If you have no wish to come with us to the militia house to verify my personal information, then we will head back there and bother you no more.
Okay.
The incident with
Are
the
you
Braves.
still not going to give us your name?
Oh, no, now you've been cooperative, I'm more than happy to tell you. My name is Perrin Deverak. Reeve.
Perrin?
Yes.
Parrot? Perrin?
Perrin. Yes, my father was Lucius Deverak. He was also a Reeve. He was the one that taught me my craft. You must understand, part of the job is to get the people we're questioning on the back foot, because that's how we usually get them to say things they probably shouldn't say, let slip information. It's just the job. I don't mean to appear to be such a... What was it?
Asshole.
Asshole, yes. That's a good terminology.
Okay.
But,
That's actually how I wrote him down in my notes.
Sniveling worm.
Yes,
Well,
sniffling one.
sniffling worm,
Togar.
I think, is a little bit much. But,
Alright.
you know...
He's only a skull of the axe. Forgive his language.
I thought we were just trying to think of new names.
No. You have told me everything I need to know. Gentlemen. And with that, those individuals, the two of them with crossbows, just suddenly raise them up and go kathunk and fire in your general direction.
Oh, man.
Fucking knew it.
Well, that wasn't very nice.
No, they're not very nice.
Very rude.
But,
From which direction? On both sides or just one side?
well, you can see where they are. There's just a line of people. So there's this guy here with a crossbow.
Yeah.
And he basically pulls it up and just goes. And everybody's moved already. Go back to where you were before he pulled the crossbow bolt.
I did not
No,
move.
I didn't
I was
move.
scooting
I
back.
didn't move.
Like,
Oh,
when
Oh
they
no,
started
I
moving
just
forward,
moved
yeah.
because they came closer to me.
Oh, if you'd already moved prior to that, that's
Yeah,
fine. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see. The 3 in the front. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. 1d6 random. 1, 2. Thelonious. 3, 4. Tolgar. 5, 6. You know what? No, I'm not going to say that. If that's where you all were, 1, 2, 3 Thelonious, 4, 5, 6 Tolgar, because I don't think he would get a clean shot at Kyla from here.
You tiny little female.
I
rogue.
purposely put myself directly behind it.
So, let's see who that crossbow bolt got shot
Yes.
at. All right, it
Please
was
let me.
Tolgar. All right.
Yay, thank God.
Alrighty. And...
Woo!
Alright. The bolt goes... Oh, that was interesting. The bolt goes flying through the air, but doesn't hit anybody.
But I-
Alright, with that, they are all pulling out weapons and motioning towards you,
Why?
so it will be an initiative check.
Okay.
What's happening?
But you're the Reeve, damn it!
Yeah, he's the Reeve.
He's
Yeah.
the Reeve.
Really
I've
didn't want to
seen-
tell him
I've seen
anything.
her.
Hey!
Aw.
Oh, I bet on you too.
I bet on Shag.
Cool.
Who
got their
else?
show
That was
notes.
delayed. 20! I say that was a bit delayed.
Wow.
All right. Okay. All right. So the initiatives are. All right. Tolgar, the 24.
Hacker.
What'd you roll again? You weren't going to get any better than that, you bum.
Stop making.
She wanted the second one.
Lilith.
Yeah.
Is with an 18. Thelonious. The littlest conch on a 16.
The loneliest conch.
Satch is on a 14, and Emlyn. That's a 3, isn't it?
That would be a 3. Woo!
All right. Let's have a look. And initiatives for them. They are all going there. Okay. Okay. So normal round. Beginning now. Tolgar, you have the initiative. What do you wish to do, you brute?
Well, as you can imagine, this really pissed me off. So I'm going to immediately rage.
All right.
And I
So
am
you
going
are
to.
enraging?
I'm going to use my feet charger and just go "Hua!" and barrel right at not the person that hit me with the crossbow, but the man who's been talking.
This asshole. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So when you use your action to dash, which is basically means that's what you're doing everything. You can use a bonus action to make one melee attack or a shove. As long as you move at least 10 feet in a straight line immediately before taking this bonus action, you either gain a +5 bonus to the attack damage, if you use to make an attack, or can push the target up to 10 feet away. All right.
I'm going to attack.
Okay, so you're going to basically use your full dash to do so. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Let him have it.
Nice.
All right.
Ooh.
Yep. With the
Plus-
full, is that
Plus 5 to that, right?
Yeah.
I
If
didn't
you didn't
include
add
it.
it already, then yes.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So yeah, Tolgar goes charging in, blows right past the other dude, and hammers home that massive axe.
Sniveling worm!
23 points of damage. Okay. Yeah, that was a hell of an opener.
Ow, I'm gonna get surrounded though.
Well, not necessarily.
It seems.
The rest of us are gonna die.
All right, let's check movements. Got.
Oh, son of a...
Yeah.
All right, okay. So these guys, they are not going to be able to get to you and attack. So they just kind of run up and ready themselves in like a defensive posture. The others, on the other hand, these guys can. Not so. This guy is going right here. This one is going here. I'm afraid this one's going here because they're not going to worry about trying to get around the people in front. Okay, so Tolgar, you have two of them attacking you, my good friend. Go ahead and pull this out, make my life a little. Okay.
Who are these people?
All right, so the first one is going to swing at Tolgar. He has advantage because you are flanked.
Yikes.
Is there anything for advantage on here? That's something you need to sort out. Roll 20. All right, no problem. I'll do it my darn self.
Would like a 20 on my 20 counter eventually tonight.
I'll give it to
It
you.
is a request. Do it in the middle of
Make sure
combat.
This works. Oh, that's a
Oh shoot!
yeah. So that's a crit to start out.
That's what I get for
things.
asking.
Yeah, that's not a bad start for them. Okay, the other guy, who is to your right, he was a 21. Is that a hit?
Yeah.
All right. And then the dude who is in front, he does not get advantage. He just gets a normal attack. And
Wow,
he
they
hit.
all hit.
That's nice.
Great.
Ooh.
All right,
Great.
so I'll just roll the combined damage then.
Okay. Ow. Scrawny, thank you.
Hey, Scrawny, thanks.
Scrawny,
Take your
thanks
pants
for,
off.
thanks
All
for
right.
the new subscriber hype. Take your pants off
Welcome.
and hit it. 27 damage,
Okay.
so you'll take
Oof.
half of that, Mr. Enraged. Right. Thelonious Conch.
All right, I've been waiting to cast this spell the whole. Oh, they're attacking me. Oh, I thought it was my turn.
No, you're. We've got to finish up their round.
Okay, then I'm going to.
It will hit a 15 if you.
Yeah, but I have shield, so that'll give me 16
So-
to AC then.
In that case, it will miss you by 1.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
Glad you're alive because
This
I'm
is
not.
one of those things.
Yes.
Let's see. Yeah, this is the, as I said, you play enough campaigns in 3.5 and then convert back to 5e. It's hard to sometimes remember the differences. Let's
Right.
see. Kyla. Okay. You're not flanked, but you get attacked 2 times.
No.
Both of those
What
hit.
are with these rolls? They're so
Wow.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's hitting hard, man.
Plus-
Okay.
Total of 7. Not much.
That's okay.
All right,
That's-
yeah.
A baby hit.
It's a baby hit.
Yeah, they dive in, and you're able to kind of duck and dodge and weave your way and barely get struck at all. Okay. With that being out the way, now it's Lilith's turn.
Yes.
Looks like
I'm gonna
Dane.
cast Bane on the two that are attacking Kyla and the one over here closest attacking Thelonious.
All right.
All right.
Nice.
So which 3? Obviously, this one you said, and
The one attacking that just attacked Thelonious and the two in front of Kyla.
okay. So basically, the 3 that are already in melee with you guys. Alrighty. Okie dokie. They have to roll a d4 and subtract that number from their attack rolls, which is okay. Then it will be
They have to make save.
yeah.
Oh, you're gonna wait till their turn again?
Yeah, I'll do it on their turn. Let's see. So it would be Thelonious. You're next.
So here's my question. If I retreat, am I going to get an attack of opportunity from the guy engaged with me then?
If he chooses to do so, yes. Unless you use
Okay.
a disengage action.
Okay, but then I'm saying if that happens, will you make him roll for Bane then? Because that will definitely affect...
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. So I am going to then just go for it, and I'm going to cast my level 4 spell, Black Tentacles,
Okay.
on the
Yes.
group
Oh my
right there.
god.
Ooh,
I
20
will-
feet. Right.
That
Ooh.
should, yeah, there it is there.
All right.
So I'll cast it.
Oh man.
Ooh, not the best roll, but that's okay. I'm
Oh,
just trying to hang on.
That's pretty weak for 3D.
Yeah.
buddy.
I'm just trying to stop him,
Right.
essentially.
Yeah. All right. Let's see.
That was
The
a
duration of a minute.
tentacles.
Let me go ahead and get an icon real quick.
Those are some special ass tentacles.
Oh, whoops.
It's a tecal.
The tentacle. Yeah.
Tentacle. Yeah.
Tentacality.
Oh man.
He's old. He doesn't write as well as he used to.
Give me a break, okay?
Saw some black tentacles that look cool.
Yeah, tentacles.
yeah, but they're
Cal-
that one will work.
Ooh.
Right.
Ooh.
And let's see. What is it?
Ooh.
What's the thingy on?
20-foot
20 foot,
That's
square.
20-foot square, which is about that then. There.
That looks pretty.
All right.
Nice.
Okay. I will have to move that to the map player so that it's appropriate. Okay. Cool. All right. So each of them will take 5 points of damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't put the save on the thing when I was doing your. I misspelled tentacles, by the way.
Oh, that was you? Okay. I'm not worried
Yeah.
about that right
Blame
Oh,
Seth.
no, I wasn't going to say anything.
now. Okay.
But I didn't put the save level there. It's his.
Oh, it's my dex.
This is usual, yeah.
I think it's 14.
Yeah,
And that
just what's
damage
that?
they will take at the start of their turn.
Okay.
Because basically it's like either if they enter it or if they start their turn in it.
Okay, so then I am going to retreat away from the guy attacking me.
Alright, so in that case then he will have to make a save.
Yeah.
And against Lilith, that is a 15 required.
Okay. Yes. Okay,
And
cool.
that is a fail, so
Good start.
we are going to deduct 3 from whatever he rolls.
Okay.
Ooh.
So I'm... Oh, yeah, I'm just
And we'll take 3 off of that, so it'll be a 17.
even with my shield. So that'll hit.
Okay, alright.
Oof.
Oh, do you have to take is that a concentration spell? Oh.
He will take 10
Oh.
points of damage.
Why?
Yeesh.
Jeez.
Okay.
All right. I'm just going to go... I think my whole 30 feet... I don't think I can move that on the map as shown, but I'm out of there.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We just
Okay.
move you back here. Alright, okay. Yeah, Satch. So, Kyla, you've got 2 breathing down your neck.
Right. Down the front of it. It's even worse. Okay. I'm gonna, under my breath, kind of whisper the last verbal components, which you can't hear, so I'm not telling you what it is, to Zephyr Strike.
Okay,
Go ahead and put that one in there.
Boop.
there you go. There's concentration up to a minute, and you can give yourself advantage on 1 weapon attack roll. The attack deals an additional 1d8 points of force damage.
So, not needing the, let's see, how far, I mean, I'm just seeing how far I'm going to get here, because I'm going to try and get over there to help Tolgar.
Okay. Yep, because that's the main advantage is you can not get attacks of opportunity. So
yeah, I mean,
I would
I'd have
say
to push
you can
around
get
him.
to there.
Okay. See, I'm just gonna
Your
be
walking
like,
speed increases by 30 feet as well, so you could easily get there.
I'm just gonna pass by and just be like, we fought devils. I'm just gonna be like, running right by him.
Alrighty, cool.
And then, yeah, if I can get behind him and stab him to death, that'd be great.
You can certainly try.
If I can. I'm gonna try. Doesn't count for flanking, does it?
No, because Tolgar is not engaged in that guy. He's engaged in the one in the front.
Right.
But that
Hey.
will hit anyway.
Nice.
I stabbed him.
All right. Give him a good jabbing for 7. All right, Emlyn, do your worst.
So like everybody just kind of left me.
Yeah.
Lilith is still there. Seeing the black tentacles, being mighty impressed, I'm gonna do my own black tentacles
Ooh.
on these 3 guys right here, right in front of me, because I'm now officially afraid.
Man,
So-
what a creepy scene.
So you
So
get
yeah.
a jump hit right here in the front.
Right, like right behind this guy.
So good.
Yeah, just like a little further back. Yeah, like right there.
Okay.
You spitty tentacles.
And I'm going to.
Happy festival.
Oh well, yeah. I'm gonna take an opportunity attack and try to run by them this way.
Don't forget that the map is only a representation of the area. You can choose to run further around if you wish. You don't have to get that close to that guy.
Okay, but then I wouldn't be able to go the full 30 because I'd be running like more further around.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay.
But that would be, I would totally allow that. That would not be a problem.
Okay.
Okay?
And I'll be like, they're Tolgar. They're swarming us. You idiot.
The tentacles! You're right, they're swarming!
He's in a
I don't think
bloodlust,
I've ever
what does he
seen
care?
that.
All right. Back to the top. Tolgar.
Yeah, with my axe, 2 swipes at this pompous a-hole, aiming right at his neckline.
Okay.
What was that?
Sniveling worm.
Normal. Here's my first attack.
Yeah, I'd say
Ow.
I would say that's a bad time for him.
My gosh.
Yeah.
Okay,
Gee.
and back towards him.
And so
So
is
good.
that. So that's a
Yeah.
So good.
Okay.
6. All right.
Was anything you said the truth? As I'm hitting him.
You're enraged.
You're the most
Oh, wait,
reasonable
you're
and
right.
raging barbarian I've ever heard. Totally has rational conversations
Tell
while
the
fully
truth.
enraged.
Tolgar's legendary
How you doing?
rational
Just so you know, this is nothing personal. Ah! All right, their turn. So we start with... Well, I'm going to do the guys down the bottom here. This one, of course, will have broken off and engaged Kyla, because he's not dumb enough to stand there with his back to her. But that does screw up flanking for the others. So start off the main dude. He takes a swipe with his sword. Does he?
Does he?
No, he's taking a disengage action and running like hell.
Yeah.
See about that.
The
Let
long
me
dude.
measure his distance because he's
Oh,
going to
God.
go.
All right,
Oh,
maybe not.
yeah.
Stop. Roll 20. Behave.
Holy distance, Batman.
There we
I'm
go.
gonna fly after him.
Rolls 120.
No, I'm
Oh,
trying to get the
it's
darn
map,
ruler
okay.
thing to come. There we go. 60 feet. So with a disengage, let me have that. So I got we're doing 10 feet, 5s. So yeah, he's going to make it to about the tree line. Okay. Then the other one will swipe at Tolgar, who is the one that is on Tolgar's right.
Ooh,
And yet
Yes.
again will...
guys.
He's
red dice.
He's really got it. He's really... What he's doing is he's fully taking advantage of Tolgar's rage and ignoring the fact that he's there. Oh, wow. Look at that. 5.
Wow.
And Tolgar only takes half of that, so that was a
Yay.
pointless effort. All right, the one attacking Kyla. That's a miss. All right,
yes,
we've
that's
got boys
Nice.
in the hood, in the tentacles.
Using the tentacles.
All right, so yours all take 5 at this point because it's the start of their round. And I need to know how much damage yours are going to do, Emlyn.
They're gonna do a wonderful 4 because I know how I roll.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
That.
Almost double,
all right.
but not quite.
My saving throw is 16 for the 3 in mine.
Yes, and Thelonious is 14, so now let me make
14, huh?
Is it really 14?
Why is it only 14? I guess so.
Because you've got a stat bonus of 3 plus your proficiency of 3 is a total of 6, which you add to 8 to get 14.
Gotcha. Okay.
Weak sauce.
I know, for real.
It's because Emlyn's charisma is so darn high, that's why he gets the
Yeah.
plus 5. He's got a 5 on his charisma.
Stupid tieflings.
All right.
Yeah, that's all the team.
Okay, we're going to roll for the 3 in Thelonious's bag of tricks first. Fail,
Yay.
fail,
No!
pass. Okay.
Oh.
And now we'll roll, so we'll go ahead and...
all of these pass. I swear to
this
as a
guy
myth.
is going to... Let's see. Yeah, I think that's probably the most logical thing. He will go straight there. Let me roll for the other 3.
Yes.
Nope. And... Nope. And...
Come on!
No!
No!
Nice, dude!
But they're going nowhere.
Nice!
Oh, okay. So the only one other than that then, so there's the one, basically he breaks out of it on his turn and rushes over to take a swipe at Lady Lilith, and that's a resounding miss. The others can't move. So that's them done. Lilith, so you've got one scruffy, nasty looking ruffian in your face right now.
Okay, I'm trying to see if there's any advantage doing this. Why do I have a DC on here?
DC?
Doesn't need one.
You may have just put it in on the macro.
I don't understand the advantage of casting this one over the other one.
We'll pop it up and we'll look at it real quick.
So the advantage of casting Shocking Grasp over Firebolt is what I'm saying. Like, that's not my attack. I just want to show you the.
No, that's fine. So Shocking Grasp, I mean, obviously Shocking Grasp uses, it's something that you can do right up close and personal. And
But I can do the other one too.
Well, if the reason with Shocking Grasp is if they're wearing metal armor, you get advantage with Shocking Grasp.
Oh,
So
okay.
Shocking Grasp would be a better choice against a metal armor clad person.
Okay, I understand that. Then.
And on a hit, the target takes lightning damage, and it can't take reactions until the start of its next turn.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So that would be the advantage of the Shocking Grasp.
All right. Well, I'm gonna cast Firebolt anyway. That's
Okay.
favorite of Lilith's.
All right. That will hit a 12 AC and do 12 fire damage. Unfortunately, it barely. He kind of like, as you let the firebolt roll, he kind of flinches and it buzzes past, just kind of singeing the edge of his tunic. Unfortunately, not quite enough to hit the guy. But it was close. Alright, Thelonious Crunch, you are 20 feet off the map, but
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna...
freeze and probably lose connection. Oh, no, there you go. Whatever you just said, say it again, because
I said
you froze for a second.
Oh, that's weird. I said I'm going to
froze.
launch a level 3 magic missile at the person engaging Lilith.
Okay.
And
You don't have to roll to hit, just pop it up.
Okay.
Blast them. Blast them.
So here's the cast of the spell.
Alright, so basically
And
a
then-
dart that deals 1d4 plus 1 point of force damage. And you can, basically, you are going to cast it at what
does it
level?
have to-
What level you cast
Level
it
3.
at? So
should
if
the
you
higher
cast it at
levels.
level 3, now, first of all, you get 3 darts, not 1, at level
Right.
1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
So
why
it
I
should
gotta
be
fix
doing
that.
3d4 plus 1.
Well,
And
plus
if
3,
you're
right?
casting 2 more on top of that, so you want to roll 5d4 plus 5.
Okay, coming
That'll
up.
be your total for that one. If you're hitting him with every bolt.
Right.
21, and he has already taken 5. Alright, yeah, so the sky is lit up as glowing blue balls fly from Thelonious' hands in a spiraling blast and hit him kind of machine gun style as he's almost like and screams in agony as the blue magic radiates across his body. Alright, so Kyla.
So I'm watching this Ponce run away, and it's bringing back flashbacks. I'm gonna go ahead and using the great advantages with Zephyr Strike, just basically book it towards him.
Okay.
And I'm going to be pulling out my bow as I do that, so I guess not a run action so much as just trying to keep up with him.
Well, yeah, you
So you can't-
absolutely don't have to use your full move, so...
Okay.
And, of course, in 5e, you can use your move, fire, and then use the rest of it.
Oh, well then I'm going to shoot him with my force damage too. Hey!
Because 5e
Okay.
allows you to break your move.
Yeah, so then I'm going to use that as my Zephyr Strike, actual strike then.
Okay.
It gives me advantage on it,
Yep.
right? And 1d6 bonus force damage if I hit.
Is it d6? d8.
I believe it's a d6. Oh, wait, no, that's for Hunter's Mark, which
No,
I
it's
didn't
d8.
drop.
It's a d8.
It's d8. Yep, d8.
Awesome.
Okay, so shooting him with the bow, if I can, please.
All right, let the arrow fly true!
Get him.
On one of these. Oh.
Ah, there you
well,
go.
there we
That's
are.
all right.
Yay!
Okay.
For 12 plus d8. No, 10 plus d8, sorry.
And then I can also apply the sneak attack damage, I think. So it was an attack with a advantage roll, and Assassin allows you to do that.
Let's see.
I had it written down, but I'm
The
never
only
sure
thing
with
is
anything.
I don't know if that applies if they are aware of it.
You have advantage on attack rolls against a creature that hasn't taken a turn in combat. In addition, if any hit you score against a creature that is surprised is a critical hit.
He's not
Oh,
surprised.
that's surprise. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's my point.
Forgot where I was reading it. Yeah.
No, that's cool.
You're right. Okay, so then plus
So
1d8.
it's still d8 though. So it's 10 plus a d8.
Here it comes.
Come on, roll an 8.
Ooh,
Ah,
nice.
six,
Still
pretty
good.
good. That's 16.
And he dies. His head pops
All
off.
right, okay. The arrow kind of like digs into his arm and actually kind of rips through the flesh on the other side as he winces in pain. He's,
Good.
He clearly is in a bad state, definitely bloodied. He's got blood pouring down his shoulder from the arrow strike. Do you wish to use any more of your movement?
Yeah, I'll just get up in his face at this point.
Okay. All right.
I'd rather get hit and slow him down. And that'll be it.
Okay. Emlyn.
Well, I was gonna go for that guy who's running away. I'm gonna move 30 feet. This kind of some distance between some of these guys.
Okay.
who's in the tentacle, and I'm gonna turn around and do an Eldritch Blast on the one in the middle.
Alrighty.
So
Yeah, he's having a very bad time of it, clearly. Tentacle's trying to rip him limb from limb, and suddenly he's going to get blasted from
where
nasty
are you?
black, foul, purple magics. And he is
Ooh.
15 points of force.
Hey.
Well, it's two. Attack twice with Eldritch Blast.
So that's the first one, yep, and you get another
Oh.
one.
so, there's one above for 6 damage. If
Oh,
that
is
was
there?
a hit. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yep.
Oh.
You're right. It popped them both
21.
really quick. So it's
So good.
21. All right. Yep, he is. As it kind of hits him in the back, he throws his head forward, and winces in pain. You can literally just see the color begin to drain from his face. All right. Make sure I put down the right one. Okie. Tolgar.
Hi, I turn slowly to my right.
And that's it. Okay. Because he took did it so slowly, it took the full 6 seconds.
It took
So enraged.
So enraged.
So enraged
So
right now.
rationally enraged. And see, that's what you get.
no.
You missed now. See,
And then I try again. Please.
and you missed even worse.
Oh,
See, this is what
It
Tolgar
was trying to
gets
be
for trying to be dramatic.
A 1.
Oh dear, Tolgar. What you get for overthinking it. So funny. Alright, their turns. Let's start with this dude. Okay, he is gonna take a swing to defend himself in desperation against Kyla. As he's doing so, he just says, "Did you find anything? Did you?" Is that a hit? Or no?
On Kyla?
Yeah.
Probably, right?
He's muted.
Yeah,
You're
that's
muted.
A hit. That's a hit. Sorry.
Okay, alright. For 9 points of damage. Yeah. Did you hear?
Okay.
Did you hear what he barked at you? Or
Yeah. Did I find anything? Did I?
Yeah, he was like, "Did you find anything? Did you?" Okay. And then these dudes. Okay, the first one is gonna swipe at Tolgar. And this guy, seeing as well, see, this is the thing, isn't it? That's a hit.
Look at Jane smiling.
He doesn't care. These are nothing.
Hi.
These are like. This is like the buzzing of flies to Tolgar.
Hit me!
5 points, so half of that.
dare you?
This dude is
Invincible.
going to run. He is also. He is not going to do a disengage because he is more terrified than anything else. So he is going to flee. That means he is going to be leaving Tolgar's range, so you can make a single attack of opportunity if you wish.
Always go for that extra attack.
Togi.
I'm just gonna flip it with my foot.
But unfortunately, no. So he manages to get away scot-free, feeling the wind of the blade of the axe in his hair as he flees from the scene. Those up in here, alright, start of their turn. These two take automatically 5 damage.
Oh, what? Oh, you don't
I
reroll?
don't re-roll it.
Well, let me see. You can if you. I mean, I guess you can if you
Yes.
wish to reroll.
Yes, I do.
Watch it be
It's
smaller. Come on.
3d6, right?
Yeah, 3d6.
Yeah, I'm re-rolling that. There we go.
Okay, that's better.
For 11. Okay.
And I will as well.
Hold on then.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if you either are or you're not. So if you guys want to re-roll, then that is
Yes.
what we will do from here on out. I was just trying to save combat time.
Got it.
But I don't mind. Okay, so hold on. Okay, Emlyn, go ahead.
Ooh,
Hey!
let's go.
High five, Matt.
Going.
High five.
Yes!
Yay!
That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
We're so cool.
14.
I know. We literally cast a spell and leave it alone. We don't have to do anything else. It's just like, you take damage and you take damage.
Yep, and then I just run away.
Yeah. Where are you right now? Back at the bar?
All right, the one
I'm so
here
far,
in the
dude.
center succumbs to the tentacles as you see him pull him to the ground as one of them like rams itself down his throat and chokes him to death.
Oof. Oh,
So he
Yeah?
is deceased. Okay,
someone in chat just like was so in love with that. By the way, someone in there was guaranteed.
right, and now they all have to make friggin' saving throws again. And they say that 5e is supposed to be quicker in combat. There's so many spells that add a ton of dice rolls. So it's quicker if you don't use these spells. All right, so let's see. The first two.
Yes.
Ripley Miller, thanks for the cheer, my friend. Much appreciate that. Both fail, so they're sticking around. The two on Tolg are on
Stick
the one
around.
with Emlyn's
Nope, fail.
and fail. So
Wow.
yeah, once
Yes.
again they are unable
Thanks,
to move.
Ripley.
All right, we've got one left up here that is able to swing at Lilith. He knows he got blasted, but he's going to underestimate Lilith, and he's going to take a swing anyway. And I think that might actually hit. For a mere 6. Okay. And that is them out the way. So Lilith
Come on, Lilith.
can finish this dude off, possibly.
Alright, I'm gonna firebolt again.
Okay.
Did I still miss?
Darn
Gosh,
it.
damn it.
Same damn
Oh
roll.
my God.
Close, but no cigar. All right. Thelonious.
So, seeing that these guys are just kind of well, no, I'm going to shoot a fire bolt at the one attacking Lilith again.
Okay.
Since I'm in real no danger, I'm just going to start
Cantrip his ass.
throwing them out.
Yeah, cantrip. Ooh.
Hey-oh!
Ooh.
That's a
Nice.
hit. Okay.
Let's go.
And yes, 16 fire damage. Okay, with everything else that he's come to, that is just incinerated him, so he is also down and out. A smoking cinder pile at the feet of Lady Lilith. All right, Satch. So what is Kyla gonna do?
After he says, "Did you find anything?" I'm going to take a step back, whisper something again under my breath, and go, "Perhaps my satisfaction." And I'm going to go ahead and plug him.
Okay. Yep, because he can't give you an attack of opportunity at the moment.
Yep. I'm going to use Ensnaring Strike
Nice.
to try and stop him in case he survives.
Oh, okay, nice. All right, he has a DC 14 strength save. Next time you hit the creature with a weapon attack, target must succeed on a strength save or be restricted until the spell ends. That's a concentration, and I
So
believe
the other
so is
one
the
will
other
drop.
one, right?
Yeah, so the other one drops.
The other one is down, right? Okay.
And then
while
here's-
restrained, he takes 1d6 points of damage at the start of each turn. Let's give him his save.
No, you haven't shot him yet, so.
Oh well, I'm going to roll it anyway, so we'll know the outcome. He's going to
Okay.
fail, so hit him. He'll fail if you hit him.
Oh, come on, Gore.
Come on, cut. Yeah!
Hey!
Wow.
Wait,
Okay.
what? Why
Okay.
Natural 20!
Rolling 0 equals 0.
How did it roll nothing on the crit?
Bad crit.
Probably messed up.
I suspect that the macro is broken. Roll another, just roll a d8 and add it.
Okay.
And then check your macro later.
Yeah, that's
Because
funny.
it should have rolled an extra d8 for that.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's a total of 12 damage.
plus the extra, right?
The start of his
Well,
turn.
the ensnaring just snares them.
Snares. Okay.
All right, so it's 12. The ensnare is not necessary. Because I don't know that even though he can't go anywhere, I don't think that he is going to make it far with you having a bow. So we'll see. He's like, as the ensnaring, as it begins to entangle him, he kind of drops down to one knee and looks like he's in a serious state of affairs. Emlyn.
Seeing the one run away from Tolgar before, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to cast my Big Daddy spell, Blight.
Ooh.
And I'm going to sap him of his shit.
Nasty.
Not literally, but yeah.
You nasty boy.
And feed it to Thelonious. What?
And that is a terrible save. All right. So basically, what happens literally is this huge big cloud. It just engulfs him, like a big purple cloud just wraps all the way around him. He begins to scream in agony as you notice that literally see all of his features begin to dry up. His skin starts to cling to his skeletal form as every ounce of moisture is pulled from his living corpse, leaving him little but a dry husk, dead upon the floor.
So, like, if he drank from the wrong chalice.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
He chose poorly.
That's pretty fairly good, accurate description.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to do with that? No, you're good.
I'm very happy with myself.
All right, Tolgar. As you spent last turn slowly turning to face this guy and then just going.
Yeah. Well,
with
in
your axe,
rapid succession this time, without even thinking, I'm going to attack twice.
That will hit.
With the flick of a wrist. Oh, flick of a wrist. Oh, flick of a wrist.
Apparently not that swift. And you missed with that one, but you hit him once. Tolgar clearly isn't feeling very well today.
What do you feel like? Tolgar either does like amazing or
I almost destroyed that guy.
What's happening is he runs forward, and as he's charging, he just goes, "Wait a minute! If I do a crime here, I'm not going to be able to
this guy's turn. He is ensnared. We already know that. Roll a d6.
Okay.
And yep, he is done.
Just goes.
Yep, he just finally his body is just. He succumbs to blood loss as he collapses to the floor as he bleeds.
Not the Reeve.
Oh, the Reeve.
He's dead. Lilith.
Come on, Lilith. Bless you. You sneezed.
Okay, so my spells aren't working out. I'm just gonna turn to this guy over here and take out the whip.
Okay, whip it good.
I was just gonna say that. I'm so glad I didn't.
Just let Gore do it for you.
Yeah, Gore got it.
What did I get?
Exactly.
Why didn't that work? Oh, that's fine. Hold on, let me... Oh my god! Stop it! Okay.
There you go.
Nice.
That's a good lash for 7. And which one are you hitting? This guy here at the front?
Yeah, the one that's in front of me.
All right. 7 to him. That is enough as the whip wraps around his neck, and as you yank it back, you hear a satisfying snap. He is dead. Thug. Thelonious the conch of all punchiness.
So I have a question. If I cast a fire spell, is that going to burn away the tentacles?
No.
No. Okay. Then, being amused that they're stuck,
God.
and I could just see them like rising
As long
around.
as you don't do anything to break the concentration that you need to maintain that spell, which is the only way you can do that.
Right.
Other concentration spells, right?
Did you get hit? Didn't you get hit for 10?
A while ago, yeah.
You should have made a concentration check then.
Ooh. Okay.
But we will. I didn't catch it, so I'll let it slide. It's my fault. But just so you know,
Okay.
if you take damage while a concentration spell is up, you're supposed to make a concentration check to see if you can maintain it. But
Gotcha.
I didn't call for it, so it's my bad. So I'm not
Okay.
going to retcon it now.
Okay, so I'm gonna watching them trying
Everybody
to
gets one.
writhe and wriggle out of this. Thelonious is gonna bend down and pick up a little bit of grass and throw it in the air and make sure there's not too much wind factor and kind of line up a shot and twist his arms around and Thelonious conch and launch a fireball at the two here that
Thelonious
are
conch
in
steps up to the green.
and cast the fireball spell. Oh wow.
Oh, geez, let's have a huge explosion in the middle of the night. That's not going to attract people.
Fireball! Oh,
Don't care. Cast it.
Yeah.
God.
Hey, we're defending ourselves.
From the keeper of the law in the
All right,
land.
DC
Supposedly.
14 dex save. Okay, so this is where I homebrew some things.
Okay.
The point of a dex save is that he has an ability to leap out the way and avoid some of the damage. He can't move because he is entwined and trapped in the other spell, so I'm not going to allow him a dex save under those circumstances. Just bear in mind, while that is great and works, I also will use that for you guys.
Okay.
So
fair.
you are very clear.
Fair.
Because a dex save, you can't make a deck, you can't leap out of the way of a fireball if you cannot move. So
You put it in the middle, it's like 20 radius, right?
Yeah,
Well-
I was just trying to hit these guys here.
yeah, well, yeah, it depends where you throw. I mean, you have to target something, so you have to hit a target. So whichever one you hit, I think you might be singeing the hair off of Tolgar's back, but it might be okay.
Oh, I would attack this guy.
Okay. So this one here,
Yeah.
you might have missed him then. See.
What about the guy attacking Tolgar?
Well, that's what we're about to find out, isn't it?
Ooh.
Oof.
I don't know.
Yeah. I say you get him, but not Tolgar.
Nuh-uh.
Yes!
Hey,
Wow.
the measuring stick tells the truth. So
He's just out of range, too.
yeah. So basically, that's 33 points of fire damage. To all three of them. This one can make a dex save to try to have it.
Right.
Not that it does him any good. All right. Yeah. All three of them are incinerated as this huge blast of flames erupts as these guys have ceased to be. All right, things suddenly don't look so good for the opposition at this point. Kyla. All right, so you have witnessed the Reeve succumb to your wounds that you have inflicted.
So there was a huge explosion behind me. First thing would probably be what in blazes, and then
And that is literally what it is, in blazes. So
Yeah.
that's appropriate.
Oh, ho, ho.
yeah, that was there. Okay, and then I'm gonna check the dead Reeve for his reeviness. He said he had a badge and things.
Yeah. Okay. So you're going to search him.
Yep.
There is one left alive over here. Emlyn.
3d6? Oh, it's not there.
It's not his
for
turn
the.
yet. So
Okay. Honestly, I would just blast him, hopefully into oblivion. So twice.
First one's a miss.
No, 18 for 9 damage and 13 for 15.
Oh, yeah.
It goes quick, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'll go slower in the future.
In that case, yeah, the first one hits him, and it is 9, and that is enough to finish him off as well. Or is it? Hang on, let me double check. Yes, it is. Alright, that was the last of them, I believe. They are all deceased, defunct,
What the heck?
and dead. Nothing
Whoops.
left alive. Right.
Weren't we trying to be like good guys or something?
Well, no, I don't know about
self-defense.
but there's certainly no one left to talk to. But oh,
Luckily, I can
find it.
talk to ghosts,
Oh, there
apparently.
it is. Yeah, good job. You can do that, right?
Yeah.
There we go. All right. Okay, so Kyla, you wanted to search the guy.
Yep.
Okay, so what you find, he has basically he has 3 money pouches. 2 of them contain small sums of gold, only 10 gold in each. One of them, however, that you find kind of stuffed down the side of his pants leg, actually contains 8 platinum pieces and 7 gold pieces and 2 copper pieces.
Personal stash.
All right.
Is there
No,
a seal?
like-
There
No, like,
is
sealing?
no seal whatsoever that would indicate he is anything other than a person. As you're looking at him close, he actually has, like, on the top of his forehead, there's, like, some strange kind of tattoos. Kind of like look like swirling marks that kind of come up from his forehead. Not that dissimilar to tribal type patterns that Tolgar has. He also has a gold ring on his right hand, as well as kind of like a gold latticed bracelet. His clothing is incredibly fine. He's got like a grey matching tunic and set and riding boots. He's a very well dressed individual.
Can you two please dispel these tentacles? They're creeping me out.
You just have
Difficult.
I do it, yeah, I just spell it. And I immediately look to my surroundings. I look first at the church, then at the tents, and then at the town to see if there are any spectators en route to us, using my distance
All right.
vision. And I walk in the tent. Oh, no.
and I walk in the tentacles.
Okay.
I'm panic
So
looking
the
around.
church from the tree line here, the church is quite a way away.
Okay.
And as you kind of look and scowl, you don't see, doesn't look like anybody is heading in this direction. That you can tell anyway.
And the tents to my right, and the town itself.
Okay.
I also look.
Well, do you think they'd be suspicious if we dug holes in the graveyard now?
Yes.
They, so looking over at the tents, yes, you can see what appears to be a couple of people running from the tents to your right, heading towards town. Because they were considerably closer. In fact, let's go to the other map. That way people get a better understanding of exactly where this all went down. Alright, so yeah, this all happened right here.
We're like
so
right.
The people
Right
that
by
were
the
here
car.
at the tents are running kind of up this way into town. Now, as you look at town, you can indeed see what appears to be 3 or 4 militiamen rearing round the side of the militia house here and heading in your direction.
They're coming, guys.
Should we run?
We were not in any
What
sort
do
of
we
wrong
do?
here.
Okay,
were attacked.
try explaining that to a bunch of... we best clear out of here, okay?
Well, I mean, is he the Reeve, Kyla? Does he have
there was no evidence on there. Just a lot of signs of wealth. He's very much wealthy, and I'm just gonna take his ring and bracelet. Like, see.
By now, they're clearly close enough to see you, so the guards know you're there.
I'm just gonna hold them in my hand.
Yeah, I'm gonna start waving them over. Yes, thank goodness you're here. Please.
My ex.
Help!
We just murdered a bunch of people.
Help! Help! Oh, Deckard Cain.
Help!
I'm actually. Can I take a moment to, like, while he's trying to flag them down and get their attention, and I'm kind of over there on the ground anyway, can I, like, stash his, like, goodies in the bush behind his head?
Sure.
Like kind of like hide them.
I doubt that they wouldn't be able to see. I mean, they're running. You know, one of them's holding a lantern, and that's the light that they have. But it's unlikely that they would actually be able to see you do that from that distance.
Okay. Yeah.
So some of these bodies are incinerated, right? And some of them are not. Like, so I'm just gonna say, quick, put the shovels on the corpses.
Oh yeah, good point.
You know, we were wandering and looking at the tents, and they were digging the graves, and
So you guys, is that what you guys want to do? You want to basically throw your corpses?
So yeah, I'm gonna go to this guy, take my shovel out, and like stash it in his crap,
Okay.
Like, and then stand back up with my arms raised.
Yeah, and I'm gonna drop my shovel on him.
Just on him.
Just on him.
Yeah, conveniently just drop it in place.
And go to join the group this time.
Alright, okay. So the guards, eventually they kind of come rushing over and kind of stop short to survey the lay of the land. One of them kind of glances at his comrades, and he says, that you should go and fetch Sarge. And one of them then, yeah, good idea, I'll do it, and turns around and scarpers off, heading back towards the militia house. So this one kind of trying to act all, not particularly intimidated here, takes a step forward and says, all right, what the hell's going on? Heard a huge roar and then a big flash of light.
We were attacked.
Yeah, you guys showed up at a good time.
So, all these individuals here, all these dead, strangled, burnt, hacked individuals, they all attacked you, did they?
They seem to be robbing the grave of the what was this man? The poor man who was killed earlier in the really odd way. We were investigating the murder there.
What? Grave robbers? Here in Horrendon? Yeah. How disgusting!
Or maybe they were looking for a corpse to use for some dark ritual. I mean, look down there. There's one that's, well, blighted, but it's completely decomposed. They might have actually dug it up and recovered the grave.
Yeah, they kind of look at a distance, and he says, yes, everybody come forward so we can see who's here. If there's anybody hiding, come out. Come on, come out.
I'm just going to slowly walk up.
Step right close.
All right. He kind of looks and says, after examining all of you, he goes, so these people attacked you? They they attacked you, or
we saw some people walking over this way, and we're wondering what it was about on our way over to pay more respects and maybe meditate some of the mystery ahead of us. We've been having a real hard time inspecting this the tragedy that befell.
Yeah.
And when we noticed them, they noticed us. They tried to basically dissuade us from entering the cemetery, and then they outright attacked us.
Yeah, that one claimed to be a Reeve or something.
The Reeve? Which one?
But he showed us no proof. He just attacked us.
Which one claimed to be the Reeve?
The one closest to the cemetery, over there.
This one kind of wanders over. That ain't the Reeve!
The liar.
Like Tolgar just realizes it now.
He's not the Reeve.
What?
You mean I killed him thinking he wasn't the Reeve?
I mean, yes, some of us were here for curiosity and introspection. I just wanted to see the tents. I mean,
Well,
but I was going with my
You didn't
friends.
find it funny that you catch the Reeve robbing a grave? Or is that what
Yeah.
made you
Oh
think?
no,
is that
that's
what made
why
you
we asked him
realize?
to prove he was the Reeve.
Oh, I see. So you caught them in the middle of trying to dig up a corpse, and when you questioned him, he said, "No, it's fine. I'm allowed to do this because I'm the Reeve." Yeah, that makes sense, I suppose.
Well, we weren't completely convinced, so we were gearing up to return to tell you guys, and then they shot their crossbolts at us, and it all started.
Oh, I see. Well, if you hold on a second, Sergeant Reynolds should be here momentarily.
Of course.
It's a couple of minutes later, and finally, you see Ranald and his guardsman that went to fetch him return. Oh! Well, what exactly happened here? Apparently, this lot were grave robbing, and these folks here caught him in the act, and they lied and said that they were Reeve, and then he was a Reeve, and then they ambushed him, and a big fight broke out, and clearly this lot got the worst end of it. So it would appear. Is that correct? Is that what happened?
Absolutely, yes.
Yes.
Is
Right.
the name of the actual Reeve Deverak?
The local Reeve, yeah. His name is Perrin Deverak.
Well,
That
he
is-
gave that name.
Well, it's not uncommon for somebody to know the name of the Reeve if they're from in and around this area. This is
That
Indigo
unfortunately
City.
means we don't know who he really is.
Well, what about the father? He said his dad's name was Lucius and was also the Reeve. That was his claim to his authenticity.
That part is true.
So if we had been locals, we
Or
would
if
have
it is,
obviously-
I'm not aware of it.
Okay, good to know.
I wonder. So they were digging up which grave precisely?
We don't know. I don't know about my friends, but I personally suspect that
I
they
recognize
succeeded.
this fellow.
Oh well, I'm gonna shut up then.
Who is it?
I don't know who it is. But
It's not the Reeve.
no, it certainly isn't. Tolgar is such a bright one. No, it certainly isn't. He came into town earlier today. Yes, he stopped us on the road and asked where the local tavern was and questioned us about the festival and, asked things like, I'm sure you get a lot of strange individuals coming here. Anybody particularly strange? Anybody recently come here from Bamforth? Which I thought was a little suspicious because clearly there's plenty of people from Bamforth come here for the festival. But he seemed particularly interested in anybody that might have come from that direction. Of course, I didn't specifically give him any information, so he just went on his way.
Was he alone when you came upon him, or were these people with him?
Well, I don't know. Let me have a look.
I'm actually going to look at the people too to see if it's anybody I recognize from the tavern, since he was saying that somebody told him we were going to grave rob.
All right.
Are any of these corpses recognizable?
Well,
at this point?
that's what I was kind of looking at, really. All right. Right. So, give me. It would come under probably an insight check if you would roll that for me, Lilith. Okay. So you're gonna kind of go and look at the bodies and stuff.
Yeah.
So if you can identify... Okay, this guy right here, the one who... Most of his damage was to his back. You kind of look at him, and yeah, he does look familiar. Because, I mean, at one point, you were sitting in the corner by yourself, waiting on the others to show up. So you had more time to just look around the tavern or whatever. And he does indeed look like one of the people that was sitting at the very next table to where you guys were. I mean, there was little but a couple of feet between the side of your table, you know, the bench to where theirs is. So it's little wonder that they overheard you having such a discussion in the corner of the tavern if he was that close.
All right.
Okay. As the sergeant kind of wanders around and looks at the corpses that no idea who that one is. Look at the state of him. What exactly happened? How did you defend yourselves?
With our natural...
Yes, what do you mean? How?
Well,
I mean, we just
half
did.
these corpses are incinerated. The others look like they suffered rather gruesome deaths. In fact, there's very few of them that seem to have any open, recognizable wounds at all.
Well,
We are scholars. I, the scholar of the X.
I see. This doesn't... No offense, big fella, but this doesn't look like axe work to me.
You're right.
Yes, they were subdued by any means necessary. They caught us very off guard. I know it's not the cleanest way to do things, but again, we used what was at our disposal for the moment.
Okay, at this point, he's kind of crouched down. He's looking at the one that Lilith was looking at. Oh, no. What are you...
Oh, it's the boy.
He points and says, This one's Krieger. And they're like, oh, yeah? He goes, I always knew he'd get himself into no good. Yeah, it looks like some of these were local men. Ne'er thee wells, all of them, but the sort that we've had locked away in the dungeons before, mostly for petty things like theft or pickpocketing or drunken brawling. As strange as it may sound, we frown upon drunkenness here, but yes, apparently these gentlemen possibly look like they were lulled into doing mischief by that strange fellow over there. That would be my assumption.
Yes, I mentioned this to your guardsmen, but there is a body farther away, which I think they left there when they approached us, that looks like it could have come from the local graveyard. He looks like corpse-like, and I'm just going to kind of wander over. Perhaps it would be best to dig up the corpses to find out which one they might have tussled with.
No, can't do that.
Well, if they were trying to steal a corpse, they obviously would have smoothed it over and made it look like they didn't disturb it. And we could start with
you caught them in the act, so they hadn't actually successfully done so.
No, we think they had done the act and were on their way out because we approached them here, not in the actual graveyard.
Oh, so you think that this fellow right here was one that they dug up?
Yes, and we can start with the one that was recently put into the earth to see if, you know...
But he kind of looks at him and he goes, indeed, he looks like clearly this man has not been dead recently. He looks like he's... Oh, I don't know. I mean, he doesn't smell funny, but, must have been... See, he's not bloated. What did I learn? If he's not bloated, there's no smell. Probably been dead for at least a couple of months, I would reckon.
Well, it would be best.
It looks like it's been disturbed over there.
Which grave? You'll have to show me. Lead the way. Show me exactly what grave you think that they were interfering with.
I'm gonna look at Lilith.
Oh, of course. Emlyn.
I'm gonna look at Thelonious. Use your tricks. Just kidding.
Come on, men! And they start to walk towards the graveyard.
I'm just gonna start walking.
Start walking that way.
Looking around awkwardly, like. I mean, I know this is a touchy subject, but you know, if they were pursuing something particular, we need to be better safe than sorry. And I know it might be a touchy subject for, you know, the priests here, but well, they drink
more than a touchy subject. You know, it's gravely frowned upon to exhume a corpse after it's been laid to rest. You know, you'd have to understand that's something that we certainly can't just choose to do. You'll have to talk to the priestess. If Priestess Aldersea says that it's a good idea and that she can bless it, well then that's what we need to do. But we can't do that otherwise, especially not on the eve of Sow Harvest Festival. Most around here would see that to be the potential for a very bad omen and could see it as cursing the crops. So we can't be doing that. You understand? Maybe let the festival get out of the way and allow the sowing of the crops to be done when they plant the barley. Once the barley's all in the ground and planted, maybe then, in several days' time.
Understood. And I know it's a touchy subject, so I apologize. I'm trying to piece it together like you. You know, with the
Once
murder
again,
in the stall.
It seems that you have done our town a service. I'm afraid there is no reward under the circumstances. This isn't a known felon, so there's no posted reward. But you have our thanks for sure.
Yes.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Right. Well,
Perhaps we should have these bodies cleared out of here, eh?
well, I'll have my men do that.
I'll do it.
Well, if you'd like, you can take them all to the militia house.
All right.
Mind you, it would probably be a lot quicker if some of the guards came and helped. Oh, did we just lose Matt? Nope, there he is. Okay.
Oh.
Matt, no!
He's back.
What?
Oh, he's still up there, right?
What?
Oh, yes.
He's
What?
back.
What?
There you
Yes.
go. Your camera dropped for a second, but you're back.
Oh, okay.
If you want to carry all of these dead corpses to the guardhouse, you go right ahead. Don't
He's
know why you
got,
wouldn't want us to help, but
he likes control over these kinds of things.
it's pretty strange if you ask me.
Yes.
But, you have them all taken to the guardhouse, and then we'll, identify who we can, let the next of kin know, and then they can be arranged for burial if they're identified, or it's for the bonfire if not.
All right. Well, I gather them up and place them all next to each other, and then start taking them to the militia house.
All right. Okay.
Do the guards stay on the scene? Like,
once it's become apparent that they're not going to be dragging corpses, they're not opposed to that problem. There's no guard that would prefer to help, surprisingly enough. So, yeah, once Tolgar takes the first one, they walk with Tolgar to the militia house, but they're not coming back after that.
I gather my stash.
Okay, once it's safe, you go and you grab all your gear. Okay.
and is there anyone else on the scene, like on the graveyard, by the tents, or?
There's still plenty of people over by the tents, yes.
But yeah, but can they see us? I guess is the question. Like, or are they going back to their?
They're all back at the
doing?
tents by now. I mean, could they see you if they were looking and paying attention? Possibly. Is it likely that they'll see you hidden in amongst all the trees and down by the graves? Probably not.
So I'm just gonna look at Thelonious, Lilith, and Kyla and be like, do we go for the grave now, or is that just way too risky?
Well, I think we just paid off the guards by carrying the dead out.
Speaking of which, I would have liked to have snagged that guy's cloak.
Okay. Yeah,
It was a cool cloak.
By all means, yeah. It's basically it's a heavy kind of tan cloak with like a white trimmed fur all the way around it.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a
Thank-
nice cloak.
Nice.
Jack the style.
Well, I would do what you guys think, but it doesn't look like we're going to get that opportunity. So we tell Tolgar to pace himself, not speedily do it, and we might be able to sneak it in.
I'm sure I would take my time.
Well, I mean, he's got to carry like 8 corpses from here all the way over to here and back. I mean, it's going to take him, good 20 or 30 minutes. Assuming he's carrying one at a time and not 2, which he probably could.
Could probably sneakily do this.
One at a time.
Make sure
right.
they're all in line.
I'm going to pick up a shovel and be like, oh, my muscles are going to hate me tomorrow. And I'm just going to
Is that what
start...
you're worried about?
So you guys are going to go to the graveyard that was that fella, and you want to go ahead and dig it up?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so Tolgar...
Are we group thinking here? Are we all in on this?
Yeah, who is doing the digging? Let me know. Because the muscle is clearly not doing the digging.
I will do it.
I will help.
Yeah. I will be there to identify things.
Okay, so...
supervising. I'm not helping.
Okay, so you've got 2 people. Basically, you've got Kyla and Emlyn doing the digging.
I would use my mage hand again to help. And that will be my...
Scuff dirt off the top.
Just loosen it up, for the shovels.
There you go. Okay. Well, it's quite a lot of... I mean, to dig all that dirt out with a couple of shovels, it's going to take you a while.
Well, what if we just focus... Oh, we don't know where the head is, right? We don't want to uncover the whole body,
You're
right?
assuming that they didn't put him in any kind of coffin or box.
And they buried him, standing up so that we just get to the head first.
You just get
There it
3
is.
foot down, there's the head.
Ah, yes. There's the head.
Reach in,
Here,
pluck
top.
the head off, take a look, put it
Pop
back.
it off.
Yeah, it's like at the beach when you bury people, standing up. Oh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, well, yeah, we're going to do it, and it's going to take some time. And
Okay.
I'm going to be very squirrely. I'm going to be looking around constantly using my vision to see if anyone approaches.
Alrighty. Let's see. Okay. So by the time you are probably about 2/3 of the way to where you think the corpse is, again, this isn't a shallow grave. This was a proper burial. Tolgar will be available at that point.
Okay.
I'm just going to usher him over.
So I'm going to make a dice roll. I'm going to make a D100 to see if anything happens.
If we hear anything, Thelonious, make us invisible.
Yes, I can do that. I believe twice. The 2 of us.
Oh,
No. I could make one of you fly, and you could catapult yourself up.
Ooh, 11. Ooh, okay.
what does that mean?
I don't know what that means.
Is that
None of
good
us
or-
know what that
Is
means.
that bad for us? Probably bad for us, isn't it?
All
Probably
right.
bad for us.
Yes,
Who was keeping watch?
Me.
Doug. So you're going
Oh,
to
and
take...
Thelonious. I mean, yeah, I'm digging and looking.
Okay.
It's hard work, but I'm also want to look around, obviously.
Yeah.
And Thelonious is not doing anything, so I imagine he'd be looking
And
out.
Lilith.
How dare you?
No,
I'm
not
magic handing.
Lilith. Lilith's probably asleep.
Asleep.
Just sitting there, propped up next to a nice, comfortable gravestone. All right. Okay. Well, eventually, as you dig, you suddenly shh. Boom, 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 boom.
Treasure. Treasure.
All
Okay,
right.
yeah,
I
it would
mean,
appear that you have found wood. So as you start scooping out the rest, eventually you can see a very plain and simple wooden box. It serves as a coffin, but it looks more like just a large crate than anything else. Clearly, they were not a wealthy family.
look around one last time, say to Thelonious, I think we who did it. You
Look
know.
out of the hole.
Yeah. And open the box.
Did anybody see Salem's Lot recently? You know the movie when the guy opens up the box, gets down in there and he digs the grave and he's down in the hole and he lifts open the lid and there's a corpse standing there and then he turns away for a split second and when he comes back, it suddenly pops up with glowing eyes and fangs because it's a vampire. That's not happening here, so that's irrelevant. But yeah, okay. What you find is indeed a corpse that has probably been dead a few days. He has got bandages around his face, covering his eye area.
Thelonious, quick.
Yes. I'm gonna go over and start investigating everything, really, kind of from head to toe, to see if there's any sign of what might have done this. Kind of how when I looked at the last one, you could see the puncture wound of the clavicle, things of that nature.
Well,
unnatural.
So if you remove the bandages, he does indeed have a hole where his left eyeball should have been. And morbid curiosity will reveal that it is indeed very hollow behind there. So a cause of death is pretty self-explanatory. However, if you want to look for anything beyond that, give me a medicine check, Mr. Thelonious.
Medicine. All right.
I think we just assume that the wizard has the best medicine check.
I know, right?
Purely based on the fact he has an intelligence level. Okay. You give him the once-over, and quite honestly, you can't find any other indications that would lead to a cause of death being anything other than somehow his eyeball was removed and his brain isn't there, and there's nothing. His head is fully intact, so it pretty much only could have come out of the eyeball socket.
Look, I don't want to be that creature, but I don't want to be here anymore. So I'm actually going to take my shovel and hack at his neck with it.
Okay,
I'm going to
decapitate him. All right.
And then I'm going to take the head and put it in my backpack and then say, we're getting out of here.
You are now the proud owner of Ralph's head.
I'm going to close the box and I'm going to start shoveling the dirt back into the hole.
Before he does that, I do want to look just at the rest of his body to see if there's any marking or anything that would lead to maybe why this was the one that was killed, or just anything along those lines.
There really wasn't anything.
Dubious tattoos?
Yes, exactly.
No, nothing like that. He was a very simple man. You can tell from his hands that he was a hard graft sort of individual. He's basically... His burial clothes were probably a clean set of his work clothes. There's nothing remarkable about this individual that you can tell. You know that he was a farmhand that worked up there at the farmer Bethel's farm. He was married. Just a local commoner.
Okay.
Unless he pissed off the wrong person for some reason, who knows? Why would anybody kill him? And especially in such a strange, bizarre, and sinister way.
Okay. I'll back up and let Evelyn
finish his...
hastily, yeah.
Alright. So, by the time you're done, I mean, it's apparent, obviously, that somebody dug this up. You know.
Yeah, the guys we killed.
I mean, all the dirt on top, of course, will be fresh and wet, and there'll be moisture in it, whereas it was dried before, even though he was only buried a few days ago. Given enough time, given a day or two, maybe as the moisture will sink down, it wouldn't look quite so obvious. But the odds are, if anybody comes over here poking around tomorrow, it's going to be pretty clear.
So they never found his eye or his brains, right?
We will, yeah.
We did tell the guard that there was maybe... He was saying it was an older grave, maybe a couple of months that guy was dead. We should probably try and find a grave and make it look marked, like someone was digging that one instead. because there's a corpse in this one, and causing a longer search would give us a little more cover.
Okay. I'm gonna move to one of those graves
You want
and
to try
just
to find another grave that isn't clearly that
waffle
old.
around.
Yeah.
And then once you find one, which it won't be a problem,
Just disturb it.
Till it, right?
Yeah.
till it up a little bit, but not. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Do that to a few of them, actually. Make it even more. Like,
Yeah.
we can all pick
There's
a grave.
All
and
of
do
them.
it,
Let's do it to all of them.
right?
The Tolga will be like, no, we're either going to do all
Let's
the
do
evens or all
all
the
the
odds
even
or all of
numbers.
them. We can't
Sorry,
just
Rose.
randomly pick graveyards.
And then let's get out. Let's go.
Okay.
We'll do every 84th one. There's like 84 here, so we'll do this one.
Once you leave, where do you want to go?
Probably best to sneak back around the backside of the tents there, wouldn't it be? Not
Go
make
to-
like a beeline straight from the cemetery with a bunch of shovels.
Yeah.
Sure. And then go to the tavern.
I mean, yeah, you could take a long, you could definitely take like a long berth walk down, kind of down here, and then walk all the way around and kind of come back in Lakeside,
Probably
if that's what you
be
want
a
to do.
smart way to not make it so obvious. And then we could maybe... I mean, the shovels were over by the bodies. We'd probably want to leave them there before we left.
Okay. So basically, you guys can kind of... Oh, I see what it's doing. Okay. Alright, yeah, so you guys can kind of come up along the edge of the lake and walk up back through the dock area. Back into the center of town that way.
And then head to the tavern and go straight to the room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just crowd around the table in the middle of the room or whatever.
Alright. Yeah, so you're going to head to the main... well, I say main room, the room, because there's only one available when you guys have it. Head in there. Yeah. He's being very sluggish, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so zoomed in. Okay. Awkward.
Alright, okay, so you guys pretty much, you come back to the tavern and then head upstairs.
Yes.
Okay. You're up there around the table, as requested. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna take the head out of my backpack after the door is locked and put it on the table. Just like thunk.
Ooh, nice centerpiece. Now we can eat with a nice.
Is
object.
Lilith sleeping still? Like, is she in the room sleeping?
Well, I'm assuming Lilith... Did Lilith come back to the tavern ahead of you guys? Or when she said
No,
she
she was just laying there. I mean, she's been there. She's just sitting at the table now.
Yeah,
Probably.
I figured that when she said she was sleeping, she probably just plopped herself up by a gravestone and nodded off while you were all digging holes. So, yeah.
So I'm gonna say, Thelonious, sorry for the hastiness of this, but, I just wanted to get out of there and in better light.
No, absolutely. That's why I couldn't see anything before. The darkness, not enough light.
All right.
So, I think what we should do is shave this head, and so we can see if there's any markings anywhere else around the head, Just completely
Okay, you guys have fun with that.
So gross.
I mean, ideas.
Can you talk to it?
Who? You talking to me?
Yeah. You said you could talk to the dead.
Tolga, that was just a ruse for those men. I was not being. I can't talk to the spirits. No.
So you lied.
I did not lie. I tried to keep us out of trouble. Not that it did us any good in the end, but I did possibly what I could to avoid having any bloodshed.
I'm just gonna peer into the eye hole.
Just like,
All right.
Just
It's
look
kind
in.
of dark, but it's clearly hollow.
put a little candle next to it. Like,
Okay.
is there any? Is
Yeah,
it
there's
just
kind of like pink membrane-y stuff on the back of the skull where the brain was. You know, but clearly, yeah, there ain't no lights on in there. The brain is long, you know, it has departed the building.
So I'm going to say it's like it got sucked out, not eaten. I mean, right? Like,
I mean, there's
like
no...
an anteater, right?
Yeah, I mean, it literally looks like something just went in through the eye socket and pulled the brain out through it.
Emily, do you have any sort of idea of what would do this to someone?
I think I've done that to someone.
It seems that you're more versed on the dark, arcane side of things than I am, so I thought maybe you might have a better idea.
Can I do a knowledge check? Being of the darker persuasion, would that some Meathon? Like, is that something a demon would do? Like an imp would, like, you know, like I know that they're creatures that have proboscises and stuff, right? Or probosci.
Right.
Or is that like just way outside my ability?
Brain of an average farmer. Here we go.
These are the spells that's used for. Man, it's...
That's tough, isn't it?
I would say you're gonna have to just draw a conclusion. I mean, if you...
Okay.
Whatever Emlyn thinks may or may not have done is probably what Emlyn does or does not do.
That makes sense.
You've never encountered anything that would have done that.
But we've encountered things like the bone devil with a stabby thing.
Right, so, as I said,
mean,
just draw your own natural conclusions. It's...
Okay, so I'm just gonna look at the...
Let's put it this way. There's nothing that you can specifically recall or think of that makes a habit of removing an eyeball and taking the brains out that way.
All right.
You know.
So I'm just gonna look at Thelonious and be like, honestly, it's probably some sort of creature or abomination that can do that. Think like a giant mosquito, you know, with all its little incisors and sucky. That's my only thing. But otherwise, I have no idea.
Don't like the sound of that at all. See, I'm on more of the fun side of magic, I felt, so you, I thought, maybe might be able to discern
Fun side of
more.
magic.
Yes, you know, pulling rabbit out of my hat. And, you know,
Pick a card,
making
don't show it
fun
to me.
smells of things, and you suck the life out of people.
Well, the life, not the brain. I mean, that's the difference, right?
Semantics.
Or uniform, you know.
Semantics.
Although I will say, I was quite surprised that for a fun magic user, you could do the tentacle spell.
Just a trick up my robe sleeve.
That is quite dark magic, if you know, right? I mean, I acquired that magic from my book, which was taught to me after a long time of evolution.
Oh, so it took you a long time to learn that spell. Then.
Well, it started... No. For me, it started small. Years ago, Tolgar tried to get my book, and I burst out tentacles from around myself. And from there, the book taught me to extend it beyond myself.
Oh, that sounds cute. Very well done, Emlyn.
Are you mocking me, or...?
Absolutely not. I'm trying to pay you a compliment.
Okay.
The highest.
We were going in good places together, you know.
I myself spent many minutes reading and learning how to do that little trick. I mean, spell.
Well, thank you. Yes, I believe our wall of tentacle was quite a sight. If anyone lived to be able to tell the tale, of course.
Yes. It's nice to know that you can do that too. You can block off entire passages.
Absolutely, something to keep in mind. But back to the matter at hand, this missing brain and eyeball. Is there someone in town who might maybe be able to have a better grasp of this sort of thing?
Corthan Derwent.
Yes, ultimately that is our goal, Tolgar. Very good. Glad to see you're keeping your eyes on the prize.
The only problem with that is if there was someone, would we want to approach them with the physical?
The head, yes.
We could tie them down
I mean,
so
we
they
could.
couldn't run.
Yes, but
And
then what about
terrorize
after?
them with a head. Whoa.
I mean, we could see if there's another student of knowledge, like a historian or something in this town.
Thelonious is the oldest one here. No one's gonna know more than he does.
There is nobody
You
in
base that off of human. There are other creatures around here that are, I'm sure, quite older than me.
I mean, of course, time-wise, I mean, it is the early wee hours of the morning, you know. So you guys have been about for a while. Now, of course, some of you tried to take a nap earlier.
Yeah.
So-
Bedtime. Bedtime for Kyle.
So I'm gonna look at the head and be like, do we keep it or do we discard it?
In my tribe, we would keep the heads, just stick them on poles, and put it outside the tent. It was good luck.
So you want me to put it on a spear outside this door?
Would you like me to, or?
No. I mean,
that wouldn't raise aspersions at all.
the fun part of me wants to put it under the fish stall, but that might be a little.
I always want the fun part of you.
Oh, do you now?
Oh, my.
What?
And it's gone to a dark place, darker than Emlyn's magic. Okay, so you guys just want to rest tonight?
Yes.
Of course, tomorrow. You know, tomorrow it's So Harvest Festival.
Festival. It took us so long to get.
So, all right. Well, we will. You guys get a. I guess you're all just going to crash in this room, and rest up
tonight.
The following day, the place is lively and bustling, and you guys are probably woken up. Unfortunately, not more than a few hours of sleep is gained, because you can hear people all bustling up and down the hallways as people are getting up early, bright, in order to get themselves ready for a festival.
I'm gonna get up extra early to get ready for festival.
Okay, well, you're along with everybody else.
Thelonious.
Yes.
Is there a way we could just get rid of the head, like by burning it, or not burning it? That might be a little too, like magically put it somewhere.
Not that I know of. I don't. Wait, you mean making it vanish from thin air?
I don't know. I just realized I'm gonna walk around town with the head in my backpack.
Well, you don't have to carry it around with you. You can leave it in the room.
Well, that won't cast aspersions.
Oh, will someone be coming in? The housekeeping?
The
housekeeping
housekeeping comes in to clean the sheets, pulls
They do
back the
not
sheets, and finds a
disturb that.
head on the pillow. Yeah.
We were gonna do a house cleaning ruse earlier, so I assume there's housekeepers.
And put up the do not disturb sign. That's what I do all the time, every time. Actually. It is. Always put that up.
Yeah, me too.
This way. Do you not recall there's a bunch staying just 3 doors down that was leaving today?
Oh no.
I thought they
Or
left
rather, last night in a hurry after
We
everything
should show them this head.
I do
we should
believe-
put the head in their room.
We should put the head in their room.
Yes.
Well, if they
But we want to hold
decided, well, if they decided that we were not after them, as I hope Lilith convinced them, maybe they're still here.
That might be the case. Can you still see through doors?
Well, if I cast spells, then yes. Do you want me to?
Well, it would keep you from carrying a head all day, and it'll keep our hands relatively clean of the matter.
on. We could always just knock.
And say housekeeping?
No, if your logic, if we follow the trail of your logic, if they're still here, they do not suspect us, so therefore they will not see us as a threat. So
But then if we
knock,
do knock, then they might suspect us again.
not if we're just coming by to say good morning, bring them a scone, a piece of toast, perhaps.
you get a scone. Lilith, how about you turn yourself into one of those wenches downstairs, and then when we return with the scone, you can knock and say, free scones.
Happy Scone Day!
Happy Scone Day.
Oh, buy a lot of scones, so it's like you're going from door to door. It's like part of the festival,
Yes.
So go downstairs, buy some scones.
The obscure sow harvest scone ritual.
Absolutely. I will return shortly with scones in hand. And I'm going to go downstairs and buy scones.
Okay.
And I'm looking at Lilith and be like,
Well,
can you alter yourself?
I would be difficult and say that they don't have scones, but you know what? I'm going with it. Yeah, you can buy a dozen. You can buy a dozen scones. Why not?
Yes.
Kind.
Sure.
That's why you had the idea. You recall definitely seeing a scone sitting on the back table at the bar. Okay, so yeah, you come up with a platter of scones.
I'm going to look over at Lilith and be like, here you are, your scones. Continue.
I fail to see why I should care.
Why scones?
Because who doesn't love a good scone? Who says no to a scone?
Look, it's just to see if they left in the middle of the night like they said they would, or they're here for the festival. And it's
Why
not
can't
without
we just knock and see if they are then?
because then we are putting ourselves on their radar again in a rather weird way with scones.
I believe that's a good place on the radar, if it were me, but...
Why do we
like-
care if they're still here?
Because if they're not, we hide the head in there, and it's away from us. You see.
So this is to make you more comfortable. Yeah, I don't care.
Oh, I'm going to walk up to the door and knock on it with scones in hand,
Okay.
holding them.
There is no answer.
I have scones!
Oh,
at
in
the
that
front
case,
door!
no. There is no. Nobody answers the door.
Is the door locked? I'm going to test it.
Nope, it is open.
I'm going to slowly open the door, saying, "Just a man with some scones, nothing to fear."
Okay. Well, surprisingly, there is nobody there to receive your scone gift. It looks like they did indeed clear out.
All right.
There's no belongings or possessions here anymore, so either that or they got up extra early and then they're down there in the tavern or somewhere in town getting ready for festival along with everybody else. But they're not in their room.
I'm going to turn around and say, vacancy, and take one of the scones and start eating it.
So I'm gonna enter the room, obviously with the hallway kind of. I'm like, hope it's still empty. And is there any place in the room that I could physically hide it so it's not
Stuff
like
it under the bed.
Yeah, but if they change the sheets, right? Like any floorboards or anything like along the edges of the room that's
Well, I mean, if basically there's, the bed is against the wall, right? So if you was to put it at the very back corner of the bed, unless they look under the bed, they're not going to see it changing the sheets.
Well, it hasn't been useful to us, has it? We don't need it. We went through a whole lot of trouble to get it, but... Is there a chamber pot or anything in here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, gross.
I'm going to do something really, really nasty here. I'm taking my knife, and the goal of this is not to not throw up, but I'm going to take it, put it in the thing, and start just destroying the skull and head and everything.
So you're
until
going
it's
to make it
basically mush.
unrecognizable and become a pile of broken flesh and bone.
Ooh, that's
And then if it makes me throw up,
gross.
I'm going to throw up on it to make it look even worse, so that it's gross refuse that nobody wants me.
And you're putting it in the chamber
Staring at
pot.
Kylo,
Yes.
like,
Okay.
And I'm just going to leave that under the bed, and I'm going to be like,
sick,
it's all good.
twisted little woman. Okay.
okay.
Well, I'll give you this much. It's not likely that anyone's going to really go to great lengths to examine that.
so
Look, this appears to be some dismembered skull that somebody's ripped apart. Let's have a... Oh, look. Let's see if we can piece it back together. No, I think it's pretty fair
It's
to
got
assume that
bark on it.
that's probably going to go straight in the trash.
I'm looking at Kyla with like renewed awe. Like, I never would have thought to do that. I mean, I thought decapitating the corpse was enough, but good on you.
Okay.
If you don't cover your trail, there's a trail to follow.
One busted skull and torn up head and face later, with a little throw up upchuck in the, to put a nice kind of coating topping on top of the.
Did I see?
And they're gonna blame it on the dwarves. Hey!
What?
Hey, Rico.
Rico's Roughnecks! Thanks for it.
Nice name.
Love
Oh
it.
my god.
We were just talking about awesome people that have awesome names on followers on Twitch. That's a good one.
Great name.
Okay, thank you very much for the sub and welcome to the show, dude. Very much appreciate it. All right, well you've got you've as far as you can see, you have aptly disposed of the head. What's next on your twisted agenda?
Carbs.
I do have scones.
Yeah, there's 11 scones.
I will eat 4 of those.
They're
Somebody
really
keep a
good.
scone count.
Hold on, I want to roll for how delicious they are. Oh, they're pretty good. 7 out of 10, guys. They're pretty good scones.
7 out of
Pretty
10.
good scones, there you go.
Okay, so 5 scones
They're,
down.
Pretty
they have
good.
little bits of apple and raisin in.
No raisin. Come on.
Hey, raisins belong in scones. They're in there.
All right, so I think we're gonna go downstairs, have some breakfast, and immerse ourselves in the festival. I mean, kind of just like walk around or.
You're downstairs. You're getting your breakfast. There are particularly hearty breakfasts available today. Big messes of eggs and sausage and bacon, and all the trimmings that go with a nice. You notice a lot of people are eating a lot of food this morning. Bring some more, and they're deliberately filling up. Like they're stuffing as much down their gullets as they possibly can. Way more than you've seen them do the last couple of days. And everybody seems to be doing it.
So we just watch out for people at the festival today, then.
But
Alright.
wait, so you think he's still here? I don't understand. Why are we wasting time?
Well, we don't have any leads, and this is our last spot of where he might have been.
Okay, well,
And
ironically,
how
What else
is
to do?
messing around with the festival going to get us leads?
Well,
Well,
we're
the
here.
festival seems like a once-a-year thing, so he might be there
Or
doing
there,
a deal.
There might be stories that we overhear,
I think.
like rumors or whatever in the crowd. We just keep our ears open.
well, 2 guards have come running into the building. They glance around and then they make a beeline straight for the bar.
Kind of try and listen in on that.
All right, okay. The first thing you overhear says to the barman, we're here on behalf of Sergeant Reynolds. There's been an incident, and he'd like to know if anybody is left in haste this morning.
What?
Well, let's see. No, don't think anybody's checked out this morning. No one's left. I mean, why would they? It's festival tomorrow. Fair enough. What if you notice anybody leave suspiciously and doesn't go to the festival, you're to let Sergeant Reynolds know at once. And with that, they turn and head back towards the door.
Well, then.
There's a reason.
To go see Sergeant Reynolds.
Yeah. Well, we listen in on the festival, and maybe we'll see someone strange or acting weird, or hear something strange or acting
Well, shouldn't
weird.
we go talk to Sergeant Reynolds to see what the incident is?
I think we know what the incident is, Tolkars.
What is the incident?
Were you there last night?
Where did I go? My bad. So I'm gonna scurry towards them before
Okay.
they leave, Gore,
All right.
And say, gentlemen, excuse me, if I could have but a moment of your time.
Yes, but please be quick. We have to get back.
Absolutely. I couldn't help but overhear you speak of a scone.
Oh,
And I'm going to offer them a scone first.
don't mind if I do. Thanks.
Absolutely. I couldn't help but overhear you at the bar. What is this incident you talk about? Just so we can keep our eyes open in case we do have any information.
Well, are you attending the festival?
Yes, of course.
Then, don't be alarmed if you see more guards than usual in and around the festival. And if you stay in public and in the festival grounds, you should be fine.
Yes, but what is the incident? What happened?
Well, not really at liberty to say.
Another scone, maybe? Might help loosen your
They're not donuts, and these aren't cups, okay?
Scones and guards is the medieval equivalent.
It's a medieval version.
As you may know, we have already helped the town in a few ways so far.
You've been nice so far. There's reason for these guys to not have a problem with you. You can give me a persuasion check. I'd say it's possible you might manage to loosen his scone-loving tongue.
Get it done, Theo.
Come on.
Charisma.
Come
Don't fail us now.
Oh.
That's 12. He says, look, appreciate the scone. Look, I haven't had time for breakfast yet. We're not really at liberty to discuss, but, needless to say, it's happened again. If you know what we're talking about.
Absolutely, I believe I do. Thank you, gentlemen. I know you're in a hurry. On your way, of course. You have important things.
They quickly leave.
Okay. I will make my way back to the table.
I don't think the incident is what you thought it was, Emmeline.
Of course it's not.
Oh, Tolga, so you know. Please, enlighten us.
Murder.
Go. Yes. Continue.
Outside.
Yes.
Inside the city.
Yes.
By
Go on.
the tents.
Well, close. It seems our friend upstairs, there might be a second one now.
2 dwarves.
Yeah, they alluded to the incident in the marketplace happening a second time.
Oh.
I could not confirm 100%, but my mind working as it does, I do believe that is the case.
So the killer is still here.
It would seem so,
Where?
yes. Where what? Where?
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
Where did it happen?
I do not know. They did not divulge such information. I was only able to coax it out of them by use of the power of the scone.
Which there are 5 of now.
One more for each.
So Kyla's already had 4 scones. She can't have any more.
You're cutting her off, Gore.
She's got a figure to think of.
You're done. No more for you. Dang it.
I'm gonna pick up one of the last remaining scones and be like, well, let's head to the market and see what's going on.
Well, I don't know if that's the area it occurred. I just know that the overall incident has, again, happened.
Well, let's go to where the guards are at their most heavy, right?
Absolutely. Good intuition, Emmeline.
Thought it had something to do with the graveyard, considering.
Which is why I wanted to ask in case we needed to keep a low pro, as it were. But I believe we are free to do what we need to do.
Okay. So where do you guys want to head?
To the market?
Okay. All right. Which direction do you want to go to the market on the map? Do you want to take the middle road here, or do you want to take the southernmost road?
Honestly, I want to take the southernmost road, because that's near the graveyard, so we can get a look in that way.
Just pass by it.
Okay.
See what's...
All right. Okay. Yes. As you get to you specifically said you're going to take a look at the graveyard. Yeah, there's 2 priests standing outside the entrance to the church. Sergeant Renaud is there, as well as 3 guards. And Sergeant Renaud and the guards, you see, shake one of the priest's hands, take a swig of some of the holy nectar, and wipe his mouth, and then they turn and begin to walk down the road, heading back towards the guardhouse.
Wait here and cut him off.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I say that to everybody, and
Alright, so Renaud and the three guards kind of you can see as they're just walking down, chit-chatting, and Sergeant Renaud's got a deep furrowed brow, and then he seems rather surprised to see you all standing at the end of the road waiting for him, and he says, what brings you all here this morning? May I ask?
we heard of another incident while having our breakfast at the tavern.
Oh, for gosh sake. Will Winter's mouth ever keep that boy shut? Never mind. Some of our militiamen don't need to learn the proper arts of discretion. I'm afraid so, yes. And this one's a lot more disturbing. Would appear we lost somebody of the churchhood last night.
Oh.
So there's no body? They're missing?
Oh no, there's a body.
And where was it found?
Inside the church. They found him dead in the hall this morning. Much like the poor old farmhand Ralph. Eyeball removed and no brain.
That makes 2 brains and 2 eyeballs.
When do they think, like, what time do they think this happened?
Well, that's what's so strange, is the church was locked down tight last night, apparently. I was, heading back to ask a few questions of some of the local folk that were last to be seen, visiting the church before the Sow Harvest Festival, as many do on Sow Harvest Eve. But yes, it's quite disturbing. The town doesn't really need to hear about this because, of course, they'll see it as a bad omen. If something happens to the Church of Winter, they'll see it as a sign that Winter has forsaken them, and it means we're probably going to have a bad harvest. You know how superstitious these farmers can be.
Did this happen last night during the incident in the graveyard?
Well, I don't know. I mean, he was alive and well yesterday. Even some, they all said their prayers together, and he was there then. And this morning it was when he was found dead, so who knows? It's possible that somebody, whoever... I mean, do you think it's likely that those rapscallions that y'all took care of were responsible for that? I mean, if they were coming to rob graves, why would they break into the church just to murder a member of the clergy?
That doesn't make sense.
Well, what was the church actually broken into? Like, is there evidence of a break-in?
I haven't got that far, to be honest. I mean, literally, we only just discovered it.
Because we can help you.
Well, I can't... I wouldn't want you to get directly involved in the investigation. No. Best if you leave that to us. Anyway, we've got some questioning to do, so enjoy the festival and just keep an eye out. Look for unsavory folk. A good day.
So anyone with a goatee.
I'm sure I'll see you later.
Okay.
And they kind of hustle off towards the militia house again.
I mean,
the two. You can still see the 2 priests are standing at the entrance to the church, deep in discussion.
I mean, we stayed at the church for quite some time. I mean, the graveyard, right? I mean, how long? When did we leave after digging up the body?
Probably 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah, it was early.
Do we
hear anything?
So if it happened between 3 in the morning and early this morning, why would the priests? Do the priests? They don't live at the church, right? He said it was locked down, right?
they might have quarters at the church, but
It's
anyone
fairly
could get
common
in.
for priests to stay at the church.
We could go to the priest right now and ask them.
That's always an in.
Okay. All right, so you can head down the road to the church. Oh wait. Church. When?
Do you think he'll just be at the festival, spreading the good word?
Who?
The priest.
Who's dead?
The people we're gonna talk to. Not the priest, huh?
Hold on a second.
Who are we talking to?
The other priests.
Okay, okay, that's what I
Yeah,
thought.
the other priest in the church.
Okay,
Not the
I'm
dead priest.
confused. Yes. Don't you think they would be at the festival?
Well, they're here.
How do you know?
Because Gorgeous said they were here deep in conversation.
There were two priests at the door as you. I mean, by the time you approach, they've gone inside.
Okay. Oh, it's music.
Okay.
Is Diaz here about beer?
Okay. So once you get in there, you can see several priests are standing around, and the priestess herself is standing up in the center of the church at the podium, and seems to be kind of deep in prayer.
Psst. Hey.
We enter the church and you.
Okay, so you're coughing. Alright, well, while you're coughing, one of the priests walks over and politely smiles at you. He says, welcome to the Churchwood of Winter on a very solemn day.
Yes, we heard about the priest passing. Came to pay our respects.
Well, the Church of Righteous Brew very much appreciates your concern. Would you care to sup with us?
Did he live here?
Of course.
Oh.
All
Was he
of
fat?
us. The brothers, the senior brothers, the fathers, and the priestess herself, we all dwell here in the Church of Righteous Brew.
And was he found where he sleeps?
He was not.
No, it was a hallway, right?
Yes indeed, well, not a hallway as such. He was found, unfortunately, deceased in our mess hall, where we take our morning meals and evening song.
And
Now we know why it was called a mess hall.
Jesus Christ, oh God. You're killing me. When was he discovered? Like, how early this morning?
It would have been at sunrise.
So,
At sunrise, we gather here in the cloister and say our morning prayers, especially on today, a holy festival day for the goddess Winter, and for the town, for one of our own to be found dead on a day such as this is indeed a grave concern. Priestess Imala Eldjasi is beside herself at this moment.
well, we would very much like to help the locals with the investigation, being quite capable scholars in our own right.
I understand. Yes, we heard from the guard, Captain Renaud, that you thwarted an attempt of grave robbery in our churchhood just last night. for such devout and pious folk such as yourselves and good citizens of, or visitors at least, to Horrendon here on the Mere, we would happily assist in any way you can assist us.
Can we see the mess hall where the body was found?
By all means, follow me.
Well done, Emlyn.
I have my moments.
Very nice.
Oh, and I walked the wrong way.
See, he does have his moments.
I thought the mess hall was the other way. Nope.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Oh no.
All right. So he opens the door and leads you into the mess hall. Basically, it is, it's a plain, simple, long table with benches. Are you actually standing on their table, Tolgar?
No, I couldn't find my alt button.
Oh, okay. Laying on the floor, you can indeed see one of the brothers. He is, as described, his left eye is blood all down his face. This, of course, is a fresh incident. Blood all down his face. Clearly his left eye is missing.
And these two doors, where do they lead to your sleeping quarters, or is this the more...
To the right is where most of the Lehman brothers sleep. To the left is our kitchen.
Was there any sign of a forced entry into this room?
No, this is the strange thing. The church at night is secured and locked down. All doors are bolted from the inside. There appears one of the first things that the guards did was ask us if we had recognized any sign of entry, and I myself have checked all of the doors. No windows have been broken. None of the doors were compromised.
Missing keys?
We can certainly check.
And
request if all the keys could be inventoried. But there are only three. Father Swain, Father Oswald, and Emily Aldersea are the only three that are in possession of a key for the church.
And
are there any among your clergy that haven't always been with you?
I do not believe we have had a new initiate for at least 4 to 5 years.
Is this window able to be opened, or is it locked?
They're all stained glass windows, and none of them are openable.
Is there any trail of blood or markings that would lead away from the body at all?
Give me a survival skill check.
God, all these things I'm not good at.
I was actually going up to do the same check, so that's...
Yeah, it would make more sense if you checked anyways, to be honest. I was just...
He's just bouncing around willy-nilly.
Yeah, I'm just going to kind of look and not see anything and say, Kyla, maybe you could assist with it.
Here's the thing. I'm a fake ranger.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Apparently. Yeah, I mean, you look, there's no mark. It doesn't look like the body was dragged anywhere. There's no footprints in the blood, nothing leading to or from it. It would seriously appear that this is where the person was attacked and killed.
Is there any food around him? Did he come from the kitchen, or is this he came straight from the?
Check.
Crumbs on his mouth.
Scone crumb.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Nothing visible.
I'm gonna look under the table.
Okay.
Do I see anything scuff marks on the?
The boogeyman is not under there. No. Doesn't appear to be.
And how high is the ceiling?
Oh, these ceilings are pretty high, a good 15 feet.
And they're stone, obviously, and fitted correctly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this would not be an easy building to sneak into by any signs or.
Whoever did this can vanish and reappear.
Maybe do a medicine check on the body, I guess. See what kind of damage more specifically happened, if there was more struggle
Okay.
on the fresher body, I'd be able to discern.
Go ahead.
It's not gonna happen every time you do that.
Yay!
From the superficial bruising around the eye socket, your gut tells you that whatever did it hit him with some serious force. Like something like punched through his eyeball hard. So it wasn't like somebody plucked out his eye and then reached in and grabbed his brains. It was more like something went blam and smashed through his eye.
Okay. More points towards Emlyn's theory. I'd actually probably be calling Emlyn over at that point. It's like,
yes.
If you take a close look at the eye, it's the way it's popped out.
Oh.
It's not like someone you know. At first, I was thinking something more surgical, but this looks more beastly.
Right, like I was saying, like an appendage or something, right? That it grappled his head and yeah.
You believe it was more
Ow.
of a blunt force trauma. Careful, Emily. Easy. You have fragile hands.
I actually heard that. So I was like, what?
Injured himself. Can't help it.
D&D's a dangerous. Everyone, PSA.
Yes.
D&D can be very dangerous. Please
You
be
can hurt
careful.
yourself while role-playing. Role-playing is
Play it
dangerous.
with caution.
Well, I mean, it would have to get in here, and they said everything was locked.
Yes, indeed. The church was locked down solid. And as you may have noticed,
So
our
locked
doors
rooms.
are significantly sturdy.
Has anybody left the church since this happened?
Not that
Can you
I'm
take a quick
aware. All other members of the clergy are indeed present. Indeed, it was deemed necessary that we did a head count this morning to make sure that there was nobody else missing or injured or, of course, dare we say it, that could possibly have been considered a suspect that may have done it and left. But no, everybody is here.
So I do have a question that seems, that might be a non sequitur of sorts, but the night before Ralph was discovered in the stall of the fish market, did he frequent this church for blessing or whatever?
You did indeed, yes.
And who was in attendance with him?
Let's see. Myself, this poor fellow here is Brother Allard, who I believe you spoke to the other day. But,
That's true.
Senior brother Ernald was here, and Brother Godwin. We all administered to those that came in and requested prayer and blessing.
So Gore, as Emlyn is talking, I'm gonna cast Detect Magic,
Okay.
and I'm just gonna kind of start taking like a lap around the whole place to see if anything kind of jumps out at me. My magic meter.
When you say the whole place, this
Just
whole
kind of
room?
start the room. Honestly, I'm gonna kind of just walk past all the people who are in the church at the moment, as well.
All right. Well, everybody. I mean, obviously, you've got a closed door to your left and right, and there's a closed door back in the main cloister. But I mean, there was still several priests in the main hallway, or in the main church itself. So you want to kind of wander around and do a detect magic. Okay.
Yes, just kind of around. I'm gonna look back at the priest and say,
Oh, do you mind if I just maybe check out a few other places in the church just to see if anything, if I can find anything that might help us solve this?
Where it is permitted, if you wish, we will have somebody guide you around the church.
Sure, if I need some sort of assistance, that would be fantastic, thank you.
He opens the door and says, Brother Edmund. And this fellow here comes over. He says, if you would, please escort this gentleman around the appropriate areas of the church. Allow him to investigate further. Oh, absolutely. Follow me. Where would you like to go first?
I just would like to take a walk around the whole perimeter, if possible.
Outside?
No, in the interior.
Oh, by all means, we can start here in the main hall.
Please lead the way.
Alright, well, he wonders, he's waiting for you to come outside, and... you want to... Obviously, you start in this room, you detect magic, and there is nothing in this room.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to, while you guys... I didn't mean to interrupt your conversation, I just wanted to
fine.
let you know that while they're talking, I just kind of wanted to start casing the place.
Okay.
Just
All right,
as that was going.
Initially, you're going to basically do this whole main chamber.
Yep.
Okay. So while he's out the door doing that, we'll go back into here. Okay, so you guys?
So this happened right outside where you all sleep, and you heard nothing.
We did not.
Well, if they didn't use magic to get in, then it has to be someone on the inside.
Well, I understand logic would pertain to the possibility of it being a member of the priesthood, but I can assure you, I don't think that any of us here would be willing to do such a thing, or have reason or cause to.
Everyone has a reason, you just have to look closer to find it.
Well, this may be the case, of course, but we would like to think that everybody here in the churchhood is, communal and has the blessings of Wenta as their guiding lights and are here for the community. The thoughts that we would turn upon one another and commit bloody murder seems quite repugnant. Of course, it is unfortunate that Brother Allard is the one that would meet his demise. It is not uncommon for him to go for a late snack, as it were.
Where?
Yes, can we see into the can we go into the kitchen?
Oh, but of course.
Thank you.
That being said, if the thing did come in here physically, instead of some other magical means, and nobody saw it leave, and we have no way of knowing if it left, it might still be here if it has a place to hide.
That's a reassuring thought.
Alright,
The kitchen's there.
takes you into the kitchen.
I'm immediately going to look at this grate. What is down there?
Oh, this is just the... it is little more than a drainage grate when we keep the kitchen clean and wipe the floors. And sometimes we, throw refuse through the grate. I'm sure that it leads to nothing more than an old well or something like that.
This
Well,
church
big enough for a person.
or a thing. This church is an old church, right? It's been around for a while.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Do you know where everything goes? I mean, because you think this is just a well?
I believe so. I know little other than the history of the church. I don't know of any of the stories of its original construction or conception. I will tell you that this is indeed an old church, much like the one in Corthan, which I had the pleasure to visit several years ago, the great Cuthbertarian Cathedral. While this is little to no comparison to the church in Corthan, it is indeed something of a relic, but it has history, and we are proud of it.
I'm going to look back to Tolgar and be like, see if the grate is loose.
Yes. I'll make my way over there.
Okay.
Shake it.
Is this door locked, Gord?
It is not. No, you want to go in there?
Yep.
Alrighty. There you go. Have at it. Okay, yep, so you walk in there. There's a simple table and chairs to your left with a candle. And 9 fairly plain beds. All of which seem
Alright,
to have been
let's check
made
the beds.
meticulously. Okay. Do you want
Every single one of them.
Look under the pillows, under the mattress, under the bed, everywhere? Alright. Sounds good to me. Alright, so Thelonious, as you wander the main hall looking for things of a magical nature, the priestess radiates quite a lot of magic. She has a very strong magical radiation coming from the regale around her neck. So it would appear that she definitely has some form of magical inventory.
Okay.
Other than that, nothing in the main room. Beyond that, he will take you to this room here. And politely says, if you will, follow me. I will take you into the brew house.
Yes, right behind you. What's this little area over here, Gore? This little alcove?
It's like an alcove that goes to a back door.
Okay.
Alright. Okay. In that room, basically, you go in there and you can see all the equipment and trappings of a small brewery. As a monk diligently is in there testing and sampling brew of various different kinds. And there is nothing radiating magic in here.
Okay.
Alright, and he will then take you into this room.
Oh, good stairs.
Right. Basically, there is a flight of stairs that leads up, presumably into the tower part of the church. And a door to the left, which, again, he will happily open. If you're curious about this chamber, by all means, you may look inside here.
Yeah, let's take a peek.
All right. It's a simple room with a table and 4 chairs.
Okay.
There are, tankards and stuff on the table, and then a door to the left.
Okay, I'll go through this door here.
I'm afraid that room would be off limits. That is the private quarters for the priestess Aldercy. Only she has the key, and you would have to seek her permission to venture into that room.
Well, let's go seek her permission then, yeah?
We can, by all means.
Let us seek, and I'll start walking out towards her. I don't want to leave any place unturned here.
All right.
Let us seek.
Let us seek.
All right, back to this chamber. Okay, so Tolgar. Yeah, the grate comes up. It's a little stiff, but you have no problem pulling it up.
All right.
There is a very deep and large, smelly hole beneath you.
Do I see a ladder or on the sides?
There is no ladder. This is just a big drop into something dark down there.
Emlyn, get me some light.
I'm going to peer over and look down with my dark vision.
It is very dark and very black.
Do I see anything with my dark vision?
Black as night. Black
Can you
as
throw
pitch,
a...
blacker than the foulest.
You throw
Kyla,
a pebble down there.
A torch, please. Do you have
Pebble
torches?
torch.
Yeah, I have them.
Pebble torch.
Have my torch. I don't need it.
I'm gonna light one
up.
of my torches as well and toss them both down. Like,
All right. They disappear down.
Wow.
And
Down.
they go, and for a moment you see a very brief, what appears to be an illumination, like it goes into some opening, but then it seems to hit water or liquid and they're immediately doused. So you only got to see it for a brief second.
how far down does it fall? Like, can we estimate based on distance and
I
impact?
counted 7 seconds.
Honestly, probably a good 100 feet.
Jesus.
Jeez, okay.
It was a fairly long drop. I mean, it's hard to judge, but... while that's going on, Lilith, you're turning over all the beds. Rooting through all their belongings, give me a perception check. All right. Okay. The only thing that you really do find of any note, such as it is this bed here, the one closest to the door. It has a lot of crumbs in it. There are like stains where it looks like somebody wiped their hand on the side of the bed, and there's some like red sticky stuff, probably like some kind of raspberry or strawberry preserve. It's a fair assumption that this bed belonged to Brother Allard, who obviously did have a healthy interest in getting up in the middle of the night and going and having a midnight snack. But other than that, you don't find anything really dubious or hidden. No hidden weaponry, no strange item, no heads crushed up and put into chamber pots. None of that stuff. It all seems pretty innocent, to be honest.
Alright, I'm done.
Yes. So, yep, she will open her chamber and let you see inside. It is a simple bed, a
Like
small chest of drawers, and a desk.
Okay, nothing.
Nothing. No, there's some magical things inside that chest of drawers, no doubt about it.
Okay.
2 eyeballs and 2 brains.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
They're just floating there
Excuse
looking
these.
at you.
This is my eyeball brain collection.
No
relation.
I'd want to go upstairs then.
Okay, all right. She locks her door back up, and your guide will lead you on a venturing upstairs. Okay. All right, up the stairs he goes. While that's going on, back to the kitchen.
Togar, Kyla.
Just so chat knows, this church took a long time to build.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Priestman.
Priestman?
I forgot your name.
Hey, Priestman.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I am. Who are you? Okay, yeah. I am Father Swain.
Father Swain.
Yes.
Nice. I have a sneaking suspicion that we need to go down this hole.
Why would you wish to do that? It's nothing but filth and refuse.
That is more than 100 feet deep. That's quite open for the possibility of antechambers or other things.
Do you think something possibly or somebody snuck into the churchhood through there? How would they possibly have climbed up such a long hole?
We suspect it's a creature of some kind that could possibly either fly or climb scale the walls.
But if that is the case, what about the incident a few nights ago that was by the market stall?
Well, see, that's just it. This is a working theory, but I think there's some tunnel system, and there's another exit that would lead out towards the stall, the market. Maybe you buy a tree trunk or like underneath one such of the market stalls, just built on top of.
I see. I certainly don't know how you're going to get down there. It looks like a very long and dangerous drop.
Well, Thelonious can levitate. We saw him do that to that bad guy.
Yes.
And we do have ropes.
We do have ropes. It's not going to be a fun one, is it?
No.
I don't really want to do it.
But
I'm too muscular for this.
I'm far too muscular for dirty things. I mean, if I'm sure if this is something you need to do, by all means, but perhaps we should, perhaps you should discuss these things with, Priestess Aldersea before we go any further. Let her know your suspicions, or perhaps she can enlighten you more to the history of this church. After all, you would know these things.
Very well, of course. I mean, this is all with your permission anyway, so...
Oh, of course, yes. Let's go and visit with her now.
I'm gonna look again down the hall and kind of shake my head. Crap.
Probably quite literally. Okay. All right.
Heading over.
All right. So there is our devout priestess, Emmeline Aldersea. So, yeah, she sees you approach and just politely bows in. Of course, you've noticed that jovialness that they had last time, that's not here. You know, they're not rosy-cheeked and laughing and full of joviality. Now they seem to be a little bit more dour, for obvious reasons. A priestess, these strangers from out of town are helping us with our dilemma. And she looks and she says, "Ah, I'm indeed."
Yes, perhaps we should wait for our old man friend to return.
Oh, by all means. Last I saw him, I believe he was heading up the tower. Alright, well, meanwhile...
Dark Tower.
Speaking of towers, let's take... Grab you. Alright. So yeah, you're heading up the tower. He opens the main door on this floor, and it goes up one more flight.
Okay, so I'm able to go in? Oh, here we go.
There you go.
Alright, I'll just kind of take a little lap here.
Alright, so basically this room, again, there's another simple table and chairs in the far corner. Round the corner of the wall, there seems to be a sectioned off area where there are a bunch of clubs, two-handed and one-handed, an assortment of random weapons, and what seems to be a small kind of 20 by 20 square area that's got about a half a foot perimeter of slab around it. Almost like a square sumo ring, if anything.
Okay.
But nothing in this room seems to be magical.
Okay, and what's on this table over here?
More, basically, it's a ton of shields.
So training
there's a
area,
bow,
okay.
an arrow, and a big warhammer.
Okay. All right, I'll go back out here and go up one more time.
All right. And basically, that takes you up to at the top. There is a small ladder and a trapdoor above it that goes up onto the roof.
Okay.
Once you're up on there, it's pretty much just a small battlement around and just open air.
Okay. All right, I would just head back down to the rest of the group then.
All righty. Okay, so you can.
While I was walking back, I would ask though, do you train for battle here or fighting or something?
We are all trained and provisioned with clubs of both one and two-handed, as well as shields. We are not a militant order, but it is deemed as this is the most fortified building in the Horrendon on the Mere, that we do We do, keep a small arsenal of weapons, and all priests here are capable of defending themselves should they need to.
Absolutely. Can't be too careful in this day and age. Obviously. I'm going to shuffle back over to the rest of the group. And just kind of look over at the rest of the group and just kind of shake my head like I didn't.
Yes, Thelonious, we found something you're not going to like. We found, a hole. A garbage hole that's quite large and quite deep.
Yes, why would I not like this?
Because
Deep as you are old.
we fear...
Not as deep as it could possibly be, what you mean?
Anyway, Thelonious, we fear that the creature that is doing these attacks can come from there.
Then why don't you just descend the hole and take a look?
Because we would have to go down there, and it's full of crap and refuse.
The priestess Aldous, she says, I find it refreshing that strangers, and clearly those that do not follow our ways, are so willing to help us.
Yes, of course.
No, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say something, like if simple kindness cannot be found in this world, what is the point of living, or something along those lines. Please, continue.
I was just going to ask what the history of this building itself was. Like, do you know what it used to be, or if it wasn't always this?
This church was founded several hundred years ago. It originally was not a church to Wenta, but one to Pelor. However, this last century it has been devoted and utilized by the Churchhood of Wenta. Ever since its conception, many hundreds of years ago, originally Horrendon on the Mere was a small village. And they worshipped the god of the sun. Since the fields became so fertile, crops began to grow vibrantly, and those that dwelled in Horrendon on the Mere seemed to begin to praise Wenta for their good fortunes instead of Pelor, and as such, the demand for the Churchhood of Wenta to come here became more apparent.
Is there a history book that chronicles, its history?
Not a book of such, but all senior priestesses or priests are... This information is, of course, told and passed down.
And in any of these histories, has anything strange or dark or evil happened here?
Not to the extremes of what we are experiencing now, no.
Any legends or mysteries of powerful artifacts or items permeate this area?
Alas, not that I am aware of, no.
Well, that answers that.
Well, the same was said of Bamforth also.
Why do you ask these questions, may I ask? Do you suspect something?
Foul play, perhaps.
Well, I think it's very abundantly clear that there has been foul play. Unfortunately, Senior Brother Allard was, first of all, he was a terrific chef. Even though he was fond of eating a little more and indulging a little more than he probably should. But, find him in such a way this morning, on this day of all days of the year, the Sow Harvest Festival, where we will plant the barley and harvest the wheat, makes me feel that our goddess Wenta does not look favorably upon this town any longer, and I shudder to wonder why this would be.
Well, we have... long story short, Bamforth was where we came from initially, and it was, attacked, if you will, by dark forces that my friends vanquished quite effectively.
What forces would these be?
A devil of sorts.
Devils? It's in Bamforth? What dark, foul practitioner of the arts would summon such a creature in Bamforth? And why?
Corthan de Wint.
Okay, as soon as you say that...
Uh-oh.
You notice that, Father Swain, the one that showed you around, kind of looks up and he says, I know this name.
You do?
Yes.
How?
As I mentioned earlier, several years ago, I was fortunate enough to visit the church or the cathedral, should I say, to the Cuthbertarian religion in the city of Corthan. It was there that I met this individual, Porthan de Wint, and remarkably so, he visited this town, I believe, a little over 7 weeks ago, came through. He came here to the church.
As Porthan de Wint?
Well, yes.
Well, see, in Bamforth, he went by another name, Octavius something. But you are aware that he has been on the run from Corthan.
No, I wasn't aware of this information at all. When he came here, he offered blessings, and he was very agreeable. He said that he was traveling eastward, I do believe.
Was he more specific, eastward?
Well, I didn't speak to him for that length of time, but Priestess Aldersea, I believe, did you not have quite a conversation with him in your chambers? I did indeed.
Did he mention where he was going from here?
He did. Of sorts. But I don't believe where he claimed he was going is where he actually probably went.
Why would you say that?
Well, he claimed that he was going to be heading to the city of Iridian. But from what I understand, although we assumed he was mistaken, a dockhand said that he saw him stealing a boat in the early hours of the morning. Apparently he was not alone, but he had a strange meeting with somebody on the dock. Dark, cloaked-clad figure.
We've met a dark, cloaked figure.
Did they happen to say if she was alone or if she was traveling with other companions?
Like a dwarf.
Like children, dwarfs.
Yes.
Well, I don't recall any information about that, but he did seem remarkably interested in our church here.
Yes. Well, that is our fear. Is he was very interested in the mine at Bamforth, and that is where we came across the abomination.
Well, if he has done if he is responsible for such vile deeds here in this fine establishment, the Church of Righteous Brew, his wickedness must be undone. It must be discovered.
So if someone was to take a boat, where might they be going?
Well, across the lake for a start, across the mere. Possibly they could join the river and travel south. But of course they could put ashore anywhere and go in any direction.
Yay. We need to find that cloaked lady. Do you think they've left?
Well, we know they left.
They still
Are you
might
so
be.
certain that the cloaked figure was her?
Well, I'm pretty sure it was.
Just guessing.
Because
No?
you said it was her.
Yes.
The cloaked figure apparently was a very, very tall and very broad individual, and spoke with a very deep and firm rasping voice. I don't believe it was a woman.
Could have been the lady with the dwarf sitting on top with the cloak over.
Who was that known fugitive that we arrested earlier?
Oh, the on the carriage. He wasn't exactly
No. He was not.
broad-shouldered.
He was quite a smaller, weaselly, quick on his feet type fellow.
Right.
Listen, I understand you obviously have your own reasons for wanting to find this Porthain de Wint, but I must request that you assist us with our problems as well. Is this something you're willing to do? After all, what was it you said, good, kind sir? Milk of human kindness and whatnot?
No, I said I was going to say that. But I just kind of breathed over it afterwards.
I see. Of course, we if you're in need of anything, we would be willing to show our gratitude for your assistances.
And I'm going to kind of turn to the group. Perhaps there's also a chance of finding another piece of the puzzle, as it were. I'm going to kind of point down to my bag that I have the tablet in.
I don't look happy with this conversation.
What would you be willing to offer us? Because we are quite wealthy as is.
I wouldn't deem to insult you by offering you wealth. I could offer you numerous things, I suppose. Blessings, or
I couldn't help but notice through my tour of your beautiful cathedral here, you do have some items that radiate a sort of magical property sitting in your office.
Oh. Yes. We do indeed.
Obviously, I didn't snoop around, as it would be quite deceitful to do so. I just it came to me as you were offering things.
As you are aware, the goddess Wenta blesses all things that are made of the hops and the wheat and the barley. As you see, we brew our own fine abbey ales here, some of which are infused with Wenta's blessing. While they are very pleasant to consume, they also have rather powerful medicinal values as well.
Interesting. Okay. Well, that
You
could
happen to have
be.
an L that'll tell me where DeWint went?
Don't have such a thing as that. Although I do have an idea that I could assist you further with this particular quandary.
All right.
But so how about if you help us solve our dilemma? I will give you 6 bottles of Wenta's finest.
That sounds
Well,
like a
I'm
deal.
sold.
What about 34? What if it were 8? I like the number 8. I believe that is more than fair. What is 2 more bottles to the righteous house of brew?
Yeah, whatever. Okay. I think that requires a persuasion check,
Yeah.
Mr. Thelonious.
Good luck.
All right.
See how you can do with this one.
Oh God.
Come on, you can do it.
I can do it. I
I believe in you. No, I don't.
Alright, she looks at you and she says, we generally do not keep that many bottles on stand, and with the unfortunate situations that are going afoot, I would be beheaved if I did not keep some in reserve in case any of...
It is an inventory problem. That's fine. 6. A deal has been struck.
But, believe me, they are quite strong, and you do not have to quaff the entire container in one sitting. In fact,
I believe
it would probably leave you somewhat inebriated if you did.
Yes, I believe a 6-pack of your finest will be just fine.
6-pack. It's Pabst Blue Ribbon
I mean,
of healing.
Pabst
Not-
of healing.
Pabst of healing.
It's a six-pack of beer, essentially, right?
He says, yes,
Well then.
when quaffed, the amber ale flows through your veins and accelerates your healing processes within your body, and very quickly can disseminate wounds to nothingness.
So, the ale and assistance that you may be able to provide with finding Porthin.
Of course. This seems a fair and reasonable bargain. After all, I would not want to take advantage of your devout kindness. And while I do appreciate your willingness to offer this help, we should of course help you in kind.
That is fair to me. I will accept these terms.
Well, I don't know where you need to start or what you need to do.
I'm going to need some cotton swabs and a lot of rope.
Well, we can have rope fetched from the general stores. That would not be a problem.
You don't happen to have a rope ladder. That makes life very easy. No?
We do not.
Dang it.
I dare say you could have one fashioned in town, but I'd rather we deal with this problem quickly and discreetly. After all, we wouldn't want this to disturb the festivities of So Harvest Festival. While everybody is out there enjoying themselves, perhaps it's best that we stay in here quietly behind these safe, closed doors and deal with this unpleasant matter.
Okay. Let's get shitty.
Of course, I will give each of you Winter's blessing before you enter into whatever it is that you're wanting to do. I believe they intend to go down the well. The well? The grate that sits inside the kitchen that goes down to what we believe to be the recesses of the earth, what we refer to as the well. I believe that they are wishing to go down there. Oh, heavens.
Yeah, we suspect that there's a tunnel network that leads out to the fish market, or the market, and that DeWint was aware of it and was pursuing something down there. And probably, whether he succeeded or failed remains to be seen, but he probably left a little thing there that has decided to incubate or grow and terrorize this town. That is my working theory at the moment.
I see. Well, then,
much like the devil.
We should be in haste and investigate and solve this problem as quickly.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right. Just, I will have someone go and fetch some rope, and you can descend as soon as you are ready, if that's what you feel you need to do.
Yes. Let's.
Okay, yep. So, 30 minutes later, they come back with 2 or 3 big coils of rope and take it and drop it on the floor in the kitchen.
Great.
And we can have Tolgar move the grate. All right. There you have it. A hole to go down.
Wow, made some
That's great.
movements.
That's everything I've ever wanted.
Okay, well, I think that's a pretty good place to stop for this evening. Way past where we should be. I need to start paying more attention to the damn time. But yeah, so great place for us to stop. All praise Winter. Whatever. Shut up, priests. Okay. We are way past, so we are going to make sure that question time is incredibly brief. If you have any new poll available, inspiration for using his scones. I'm assuming that is for Thelonious.
It's got a 16-0 yes vote.
I think that's pretty much 18. I think that's pretty much going to carry. I'm assuming that was for Thelonious.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's see. Yeah, that's a no-brainer. All right, well in that case, Thelonious, I think that's fair. I think it was good inventive ideas and uses of Scondom.
Perfect.
So with that being the case,
thank you, chat. Thank you.
I owe you an inspiration. Let me find it.
Joxer left a really great
awesome.
post.
Another one. I love it.
I personally think it's great.
All right.
What was it?
There you go. You have a inspiration point floating around above your head. Hi there, I'm Gorbad. Welcome to the Orc's Nest. I'm the Dungeon Master here on How We Roll, and if you'd like to follow me personally, you can do so on Twitter @Gorbad. Check out thedmblog.com for all things Dungeon Master and Dungeons & Dragons related. And of course, you can follow me on twitch.tv/Gorbad. Also, guys, don't forget to keep up with all things How We Roll. Follow us on Twitter @HowWeRoll. Check out the website www.howweroll.com, and make sure you follow us on YouTube as well. Cheers, guys.
Hey guys, Dragon Spooker here for How We Roll. Thank you so much for watching tonight. For something a little different, please check out my channel, twitch.tv/thedragonspooker. For stream times, follow me on Twitter via @dragonspooker. See you next time.
Hi, I'm the Satchmo. I speak for the trees. Thank you for watching How We Roll. If you want to see some more of me, you can follow me on Twitch and Twitter @Satchmo. If not, I guess I'll just see you next episode. I love you. Take care.
What's up, you guys? It's the Snuggler here, and I am back for my second How We Roll campaign. I've been given some guidelines. One is to not name the character that I'm playing. Of course, probably gonna kill my character at some point. And two is to keep this as short as possible.
Jane is just so lazy. Oh.
So with that being said, so happy to be on my second campaign for How We Roll. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do so @MaddieSweetTweet. And that's pretty much all I use. So check you there. If not, I'm always here playing for you guys.
Shagget here. I play a character on How We Roll. I'm not going to tell you who I play because if they die, I'm going to have to redo it. Already done it once, never again. Follow me on Twitter @Aneb_convos, and I'll see you guys on How We Roll.
Hi, Jane here. You may have seen me in such films as Rise of the Fallen or Lyra vs. Legend. Thanks for watching! You can follow me on Twitter @JaneOnTwitch. That's with a 0, not an O. Anyway, I gotta go. The cats. Peace, suckers!